action-packed.
Countrywide.
Sports for all.
Good afternoon. As I lift the hat I've just bought because it's a beautiful sunny day, welcome to the live coverage from Eggesford, the Upcott Cross, point to point. We're here on a most glorious Sunday afternoon. It really is lovely. Blue sky, bit of cloud cover, bit of shelter, and 3 runners in our first race. We've got 7 planned races, but there are over 30 runners entered in the maiden, so that could easily divide. Safety limit is 16, but we're all set for a great day. I've actually walked the course, well, a section of the course, and a lot of water has been put on, many hundreds, many thousands of gallons of water, and it looks in great shape. I'd say it's on the quick side of good, but we've had a long dry spell, so we're all set for some fantastic action. We've got 3 runners for you in our first race, which is for Chris Hodgson, Devon and Cornwall, and Wessex Area's conditions race, level 2. And it's not a bad race, actually. 2 last time out winners, Porter Clock, who won last time out. Darren Edwards rides the Big Sting, who was a winner last time, with top man Will Biddick on board. And the outsider of the 3 will be the Ibster. You can see there, ridden by Alexandra Goodman. I don't know her well enough to call her Alex yet, but I'd have thought she probably is Alex. And the Ibster is owned by Alexandra Goodman, and doesn't put a trainer down. I imagine she trains the horse herself, the Ibster, who has won 2 from 24 point-to-points. So an interesting contest to start the day, and quite soon, at the moment, the parade ring is verdant green. It's just so beautiful here. It's fantastic. I always in wonderment when I come to point-to-point, especially places I've never been before, and I've never been to Eggesford before in my life. I don't think. I might have passed it. I have passed it, but I haven't. I've never stopped off here, and I'm looking forward to the action quite soon. As usual, we have our top team in action. Simon Knott will be giving us betting shows, and also some little interviews as well. He's trying to get his very high quality phone going, so he can interview some of the bookmakers. But just give you a flavour of the. I can't really tell you what's running, because we don't really know till the next time. But Rita, who gives us all the information, has given me vital information. But the bar is already busy, which I'm not surprised, because I think it could be quite a sort of a sweltering afternoon. There's a cool breeze coming from, I'd say, sort of southwest. We had that northeasterly wind for a long time. There we are. Look at that. I love seeing these general pictures rather than seeing me in my brand new paper hat. Just looking around, that's towards the car park. People, that's a typical family scene there, with children wandering around. That little chap on the right, that would have been me many years ago. That's how I first got interested in racing with my parents. We never walked the course, and we used to go, it was in East Anglia. But now, spring in all its glory, the leaves are on the trees, blossom just beginning to fade, and everything is brand new and fresh, and the point-to-point season is coming towards its conclusion. There are a few more weeks to go. There's another point-to-point here quite soon, and there we can see the hedgerows in all their glory as we look down the course and see the odd jump. Looking at the course, if you haven't been here before, it looks a fair galloping course. I've been to 1 or 2 when there are a lot of hills and climbs and such like, but this looks to be a really good good galloping course. The second last they jump, and there's a slightly downhill run, and then there's a bit of an uphill run to the last, so a tired horse might be caught out. But wonderful pictures, and I hope the race coverage, well, I know that the race coverage will be absolutely fantastic. So our first race, which is due off in 15 minutes time, 2 o'clock, so we'll see the horses in the parade ring quite soon. At the moment they're probably being saddled up at the moment, and so far the maiden hasn't closed yet. So far 9 have been declared in that, so there were 33 entered, so it doesn't look like it's going to divide at the moment, because it's got 16 is the safety limit, but there are 9 declared at the moment. But mind you, I don't know how long they've got to declare. How long have they got to declare, Rita, for that? She's just checking that, so we'll see. But if there are 9 runners in a race, is pretty. 2:10. So there's another. So I think quite a few will be declaring quite soon. So that could easily divide. So that we've taken you on a tour around the course, and people enjoying themselves. Already gathering around the parade ring to my left. I can see 2 very well behaved, 3, 4, 5 well behaved dogs, and also extremely well behaved children. I hope everyone remains well behaved. It's a great family day out, but I'm probably preaching to the converted. For some reason you can't be here, so you're watching this live stream, and hope you're enjoying it too on pointingdc.com or .co.uk. I think it's co.uk, but well worth having a look at if you are unable to come. Try to give you the flavour of the afternoon ahead. Cornelius Lycett is he's been doing the lion's share in these. When he does something more, I don't know what he's doing today. He often does announcing at the presentations at Worcester and at Hereford, so he could be busy elsewhere today, but usually he's with you, and when he's not. But the horses are, as if by magic, in the parade ring. I can see coming towards me number 6, which is the Big Sting, who is owned by Phil Fry, who must be, I must check on this, must be a relation of Harry Fry, because the horse was trained by Harry Fry in his early stages. 0 from 5 over hurdles, but he's done really well in point to points. Lovely looking horse, and he looks absolutely beautifully turned out. He really does. And Will Biddick is on board, so there's a lot to like. He's won 5 point to points, and he beat. There have been quite a few matches lately. He won a match. He beat Eric III by 6 lengths. But he seems to be handles any sort of ground, and he looks in fantastic shape. Just coming past me now, got the cheek pieces on. That's number 7, the Ibster, who's also looking in great shape. He's not. I've been completely remiss. Mr. Phil Fry is not related to Harry, so it's a complete and utter coincidence that Harry Fry trained the horse over hurdles. Give you a betting show soon. Just walking through shot there is number 4. Ought to have a close look at number 4. Again, a lovely looking horse. Both the Big Sting and Porter Clock are 7-year-olds, and he's a very good horse as well. He's won 4 point to points, 4 from 10, and he won an Exeter Hunter Chase last time. He's a front runner. Well, he was on that occasion, and he won in a close finish at me. Called the horse of Stuart Payne's called Had Me at Hello. Chloe Elmsley rode Had Me at Hello, and there was a close finish. Handles quick ground pretty well, so conditions should be ideal. And Darren Edwards is on board, owned by John Gardner and Torben Hughes, and trained by Dean Summersby. Oh, and Jack Instance, who rode his first winner the other day, novice rider, he had his first win the other day at South Hill, and he is leading up Porter Clock, which we'll have a look at in a moment. He's just cut a corner, actually, has Jack. He was down to ride. He's not the horse he's entered to ride today, which is the horse that I think he won on, A Head Full of Dreams, is not running today, I don't think, but we'll have that. Owned by Harvey Instance. Harvey's his dad, I think, and I met Harvey just now and said that I'd met Jack at Newton Abbot races last Wednesday. Nice lad. We'll get some betting show quite soon from Simon. Simon Knott will be. Oh, he's moving this way now. Good afternoon, Simon. Nice to see you again.
Bob, you too.
And I think it's quite a competitive little race, this. I mean, two horses that are prolific winners. How do they bet?
Yeah, well, they bet fairly tightly. Porter Clock is 5-4. The Big Sting 4-7, and if you shop around, you get 9-1 the Ibster.
The outsider of 3. I think it's probably between the other two, really. But
yeah,
so the Big Sting is the favourite.
Yeah, that did open up a bit shorter, so that is the one there's been money for. There's 12 bookmakers, so it's a competitive betting ring. Quite a few people in front of them, so bodes well for a good day's sport.
4-7. Porter Clock, you said, was what, 6-4?
5-4.
5-4.
But you can shop around. There's a lot of variation in
9-1
the bookmakers on the course here.
Well, that sounds quite a good opener, doesn't it?
Yeah, it should be a race, even though there's only 3 runners.
And is that quite a healthy? I mean, I can see them there, the bookmakers doing a little bit of trade. Is that quite a good turnout for the bookies?
Yeah, I think there's probably depending. I mean, it could be too many bookmakers, in which case the punters get good value because they'll be competing for their business. That's always good for the punters. So can you
get how many other 3?
There's 12
6,
there.
9, 12. And do you ever get more than that?
I think they're limited. There'll probably be for each meeting there'll be a limit.
You could have a great line, but never.
Yeah, no, there is a limit.
Absolutely. Well, I know. I always like it when you report on, big substantial bets because it's amazing how much. There is quite a lot of money changes hands at point of points.
Yeah, I mean the majority of the bets would be
fivers
recreational
and
small bets,
yeah.
But there are some people that do take it very seriously. I mean, you can get a loose leaf form book for the point to points and his website. So people do take it as seriously as punters do for normal racing. So
sounds very smart. My accountant, who's based, he'll be nameless, but he's an ardent point to point fan, and one of these people who just he'll have a 3-figure bet on something at 1-2 or something like that, 2-1 on, and he makes it pay because he studies the form.
Yeah.
Because now you've got all the video form online. I mean, you can actually study the form as much as anything else.
Yeah, I think with the point to point, you've got to get a different mindset. You get quite a few odds-on shots, whereas people are probably a little bit against backing odds-on shots normally. At point to points, if you're prepared to stick your chest out, you get some real value.
Well, we had one the other day, didn't we? When because I rather agree. I think I see odds-on shots running at Wolverhampton and Lingfield and places. And sometimes you think, why is this thing 6-5 on? But sometimes with a point to point, you see something at 7-4 on. Yeah. You think, if it jumps round, it's going to win, which equates to value.
The weakness for a lot of bookmakers is it's in their head they've got to get that odds-on favourite into the book at all costs. And if there's not many odds-on backers out there, they've got to go real good value price to get it in. And quite often the other bookmakers will jump off and help themselves. So.
Well, it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm sure you'll pop back in a few minutes to see whether there's any change in that. But 5-4, Porter Clock. The favourite is the Big Sting, 7-4 on, and the Ibster, the outsider of 3 at 9-1. Thanks very much for the time being to Simon. Let's go back to the parade ring and have a look at some of these horses again. If you've just joined us, welcome to the live streaming coverage here from Eggesford, from Upcott Cross, on a glorious. This is almost like a summer's day, really, isn't it? Jack Instance, I'm going to say. Oh, we know that. I mean, I haven't shared it with the viewers, but there's something I actually know. Jack Instance, who rode his first winner the other day, and he's leading up. I might shout to him when he comes past. He's got a job for. He's going to be working for David Pipe, which will be great for him, and he's going to go to the riding school at Newmarket for a course there. So good for him. And he just passed us a moment ago, actually. I'll shout over the fence to him. So the one we're looking at there is the number cloth that's blown inside out. That could be number 7. That is the Ibster. Just walked past us, the outsider of the 3. So, yeah, got the cheek pieces on. Should have found that. And the best turned out is Porter Clock. And Porter Clock's owner, which is Torben Hughes, always had a pair of bright red trousers on. And I can see them there. They're very, very visible, actually. There is Jack. I didn't have time to shout to him then. Let's have a look at the best turned out then. Porter Clock, if we can, number 4. That's the one with the cheek pieces again, so we'll move away from that one and try and find number 4 for you, Porter Clock. I thought Porter Clock and the Big Sting, I think it would be a difficult choice to choose the best turned out between those two. I thought they both looked absolutely immaculate. As did the Ibster. I think the Ibster looks absolutely fabulous too. He is the old boy of the party. There's number 6. There's the Big Sting. Let's stay with the Big Sting for the time being. Owned by Phil Fry. No relation to Harry Fry, but the horse was trained for a short time over hurdles by Harry Fry. I think I'm going to be removing clothes this afternoon, you know, because it's the most glorious day. I thought down, well, we are sort of almost on the British Riviera down in the West Country here, so it's probably a little bit warmer. And just going past us, there's number 6, the Big Sting. There's Jack. Hello, Jack. Jack Instance leading up for Dean Summersby for Porter Clock. There are 15 minutes left for declarations in race 3. That closes at 10 past. And the declaration system. Mark Dennis will be our commentator. And his commentary box is a spectacular gadget in front of me. It's a sort of on a high lift gadget, really. It was a tractor. It doesn't really look like a tractor. It's sort of a 4-wheel drive machine, enormous thing. I mean, you couldn't fit it down many roads, but he's going to be lifted up over the heads of everyone to get a good view. Probably a better view than that's quite a good view. That must be the view from it at the moment. Yeah. That's the race. That's one of the race cameras. That's rather a good view looking down at proceedings. You can see a good crowd on the right of your picture there. That's where most of the humanity is. And I can see a lot of people wandering around, holding drinks, pints of this, pints of that. And I imagine there's the ice cream van here, but we're all set from there. There is, yeah, Mark will be in that gadget there. I wouldn't call it a 4-wheel drive thing, although it inevitably does have 4-wheel drive, but it's like a tractor. It's called a telehandler. It's called a telehandler. It's called a commentator handler. Anyway, it's very useful. I'm sure it does fantastic work all around the world. There we are. Those are I think those are probably the last 2 fences, if I'm right, or maybe the third last and the second last. That's over on the other side. There are 4 horses in the next race, the intermediate. 4 out of the 7, so that's quite a good percentage. We'll give you those a little bit later on. 4, 5, 6 and 7 the runners there. Dr. Rhythm, Jabir, Knockmoylan and Transition Period, who's been in fantastic form, never out of the first 2 Transition Period, trained by Dean Summersby and Darren Edwards on board. Could be a good day for Darren. I hope he has the winner or 2, because he's a great man to talk to if he's not too busy to come and talk to us. I can see Simon Knott returning to his broadcasting point. What's been happening, Simon?
What's been happening is the Big Sting is the one they want to be on. No, 2 to 5, 4 to 11 chance now. The Big Sting.
So if you got on at 4 to 7, you were laughing.
Yeah, and it was bigger than that early doors.
So that means Porter Clock's been pushed out to 7 to 4.
Yeah, they're not that generous. 6 to 4 best.
Okay, it has drifted. And the Ibster,
similar price. They've laid the one.
9 to 1.
Yeah, they need to leave a bit of margin in there.
So all the money has been for Will Biddick on the big
Yeah,
sting.
they've got 1 horse books at the moment. So the percentage might be there in theory, but in practice they've only laid 1 horse, and that's the big loser.
And we got 4 runners in the next race we hear, which is
I haven't seen yet.
4 out of a 7. So we'll talk about that. Let's face each race as it comes. Thank you very much, Simon. So all the money has been for the big sting, who is been backed into 11 to 4 on, 4 to 11 from 4 to 7, and the horse is just about to leave the parade ring as Will Biddick is walking away from us, and the runner's heading down. Mark Dennis is climbing into his commentator point, and he will call them down quite soon. I'll wait for a moment until he starts, he gets all his rigmarole on. But this is exciting. The first race of the day always gives me a frisson of excitement as they go down to the start. And I think this is a good race. It looks to be between the Big Sting and Porter Clock and the Ibster. And I think we can go and join our commentator Mark Dennis as he calls them down to the start.
On the car for you this afternoon. And the runners for the first are on their way to post now. This is the Chris Hodgson, Devon, Cornwall and Wessex areas conditions race. And the first one to go down was number 4, Porter Clock, ridden by Mr. Darren Edwards. And that's blue with the red diamonds and a red cap. The next one to go down was number 6. That's the Big Sting, ridden by Mr. Will Biddick, green with the white chevrons and an orange cap. And the final one to go down was number 7. That was the Ibster, ridden by Miss Alexandra Goodman, black with a white star, black sleeves, white stars, black cap with the white stars. So 3 go to post then for this opener. This is the Devon, Cornwall, Wessex areas conditions race. They are due away at 2 p.m. So we're right on post time now.
So the runners arriving down at the start caught me in an off moment there, because I just looked in my little picnic box and I saw a bit of melting chocolate, and I thought I'd better polish it off before the weather polishes it off, but my timing was not immaculate. But anyway, there they are down at the start. I walked down there a bit over. That's on the far side of the course, so they have a couple of circuits. And the fences look in fantastic shape. They really do. And there's plenty of grass on the track. They put loads of water on. So I don't think, considering how dry it's been, I don't think you can really grumble about the ground. And so just let's confirm the runners for this first race, 3 of them. Oh, that's race 2. Hang on. Oh, we hear that people are leaving their picnics. They're leaving their picnics, rather like I've left my bit of chocolate, to watch the race in the centre of the course. I would have thought this would be a good viewing course, yeah, because you can see them all the way around. I've very nearly bought my little mini pair of binoculars, and I thought I can look on the, but I really ought to be looking at the same pictures as you. The flag is up, so I think they're going to be underway very, very shortly. So let's get across to Mark for commentary, who's now high up in the sky, able to see everything. Here's Mark.
Flag is down then, so we're away for the opener. The Devon, Cornwall, Wessex area conditions race. 3 runners and riders jump away from the start then and make their way towards the first of their 18 fences, and Porter Clock with the advantage around about a half length over the Big Sting on the outside with the orange cap, and the Ibster follows them, follows in their slipstream around about a length down in third. So they're at the top end of the course then and make the big turn. So Porter Clock, a winner at Exeter for the Exeter Racecourse Intermediate Series, a winner back there 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now takes on fence number 2 of the 19 then, and all 3 safely over that, and making their way back towards us and down the home straight. 3 plain fences to take in this part of the course, and Porter Clock a 5-4 chance with the bookmakers when I was there. The Big Sting a 9-4 on favourite, and the Ibster the outsider at around about 10-1. So they race on down to the next then. Porter Clock with the sheepskin noseband, just put down there, got a little bit tight to it, but fiddled it well in the end, and now race past the judge, 2 seconds ahead of them to race them, and they continue on down the home straight and on to another plain fence. Porter Clock around about a length clear of the Big Sting. Good jump there by both the leaders. The Ibster right over safely under Alexandra Goodman. Alexandra based up near Wellington with Stuart Kitto, works in the yard up there, and looking for her first winner. This is her third season riding, and hoping for the best this afternoon. So they're finished the turn then at the bottom end of the course, and are making their way up the back straight now in full for the first time. Plain fence, open ditch, and plain fence to take in this part of the course, and Porter Clock now by about 2 lengths to the Big Sting as they sail over that. They've all jumped that beautifully and now set themselves up for the open ditch for the first time. So Darren Edwards and Will Biddick vying for the lead in the Devon Cornwall Championship, and Will Biddick 90 on 90 points to Darren Edwards' 88 at the moment. Will had a double at Hornicott yesterday. Both wins were walkovers, unfortunately, but they all count to the end of season tally. So they've cleared the last in the back straight then, and now continue to climb up to the top end of the course for the second time. So Porter Clock with the lead, as he has been pretty much from flagfall, and a length and a half clear then of the Big Sting, and these two have increased their lead over the Ibster to about 12, maybe 15 lengths now, who's back in third. As they cross the fence at the top of the hill, 2 leaders out over safely. The Ibster comes to it now, and again it's jumped it okay, and now they race downhill then towards these 3 plain fences in the home straight, and the Big Sting been switched up to the inside now, goes up to match strides with Porter Clock as they race on down then to what will be the final fence in the circuit's time. Porter Clock with the lead. The Big Sting just brushed through the top of that, and just give him a shake of the reins on landing by Will Biddick. And I can see that Will is anxious to get the inside run at the bottom bend by the looks of it, as they increase the pace then. And the Big Sting there, the better jump, as the Ibster goes down to the final plain fence in the home straight now. Comes to it, jumps it nicely, the Ibster. But up front now, it's the Big Sting, who's trying to apply a bit of pressure. A winner on his 3 previous starts. And Porter Clock, the Hunter Chase series winner at Exeter. These 2 now matching strides and begin their run up the back straight for the final time, these 2. So plain fence and open ditch to take. They're at the plain fence now, and the Big Sting on the inside of Porter Clock. The Big Sting was fractionally better over that and goes on now by a couple of lengths then to Porter Clock. Darren Edwards just beginning to niggle this one along. This is the ditch then. Comes to it, the Big Sting out over, just to fiddle it slightly, the Big Sting, but Porter Clock looks to be under a bit of pressure now from Darren Edwards. The Ibster continues on towards the ditch as the Big Sting then lines up the final one in the back straight. Comes to it now and jumps it well enough and is clear. Around about 5 lengths clear now of Porter Clock, who's under strong pressure from Darren Edwards, as they leave the back then and begin their turn at the top end of the course. And 3 fences remain then for the Big Sting to hold on to his lead of around about 4 lengths now, as they race right-handed and arrive at the top of the home straight. So the Big Sting and Porter Clock. The Ibster continues around about a fence behind them now. But on the run downhill now, Porter Clock still under strong pressure to try and close up on the Big Sting, but the Big Sting doesn't look like he's going to be stopping anytime soon. So 2 out coming up then for the Big Sting. He's out over safely, looking for a 4-timer to run up a series of 4 wins, the Big Sting. And Will Biddick looks over his shoulder, and he's not going to see anything to get concerned about at the moment. Final fence coming up then for the Big Sting. He's out over safely, and it's going to be pushed out to the line now. Porter Clock is over the final fence also safely, but the Big Sting is going to score easily in the end. He's around about 20 lengths clear then of Porter Clock, who's going to finish in second. And we'll look up the course. I think the Ibster has been pulled up.
So the favourite wins, and wins pretty easily. The Big Sting, trained by Chris Barber and ridden by Will Biddick, took it up quite a long way from home from Porter Clock, who is the confirmed front runner. There is the Big Sting returning. He's been in a great run of form. He's now won 6 pointer points. He's won 6 of his last 8 races, and he's been placed in the other 2. And he seems to be getting better with every run. Handle the ground really well. The Ibster didn't finish, the outsider of a 3, but anyone who took the 7-4 on for the Big Sting returns shorter than that. Wouldn't have too much to worry about. Let's have a look at the closing stages.
In their turn at the top end of the course, and 3 fences remain then for the Big Sting to hold on to his lead around about 4 lengths now, as they race right-handed and arrive at the top of the home straight. So the Big Sting and Porter Clock. The Ibster continues around about a fence behind them now. But on the run downhill now, Porter Clock still under strong pressure to try and close up on the Big Sting, but the Big Sting doesn't look like he's going to be stopping anytime soon. So 2 out coming up then for the Big Sting. He's out over safely, looking for a 4-timer to run up a series of 4 wins, the Big Sting. And Will Biddick looks over his shoulder, and he's not going to see anything to get concerned about at the moment. Final fence coming up then for the Big Sting. He's out over safely, and it's going to be pushed out to the line now. Porter Clock is over the final fence also safely, but the Big Sting is going to score easily in the end. He's around about 20 lengths clear then of Porter Clock, who's going to finish in second. And we'll look up the course. I think the Ibster.
Yes, a pretty comprehensive victory by the favourite, the Big Sting. Another winner on the board for Will Biddick, who is going great runs. And Porter Clock put up a good battle. I thought it might be a slightly closer battle than that in the end, but probably just got a bit too much class, the Big Sting. Both 7-year-olds, the front 2. And coming to see us now, Harry Ryle. Harry Ryle.
Are you okay?
And you assist Chris Barber?
Yes.
And you must be a very happy man, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's good to see
Just
him win.
one step closer to the microphone. There we go.
Good to see him win. His 6th win of the season. So 6 wins. 2
and when
seconds.
he doesn't win, he doesn't get beaten by far, does he?
No, not at all, not at all. But then when he does win, he doesn't do it by overly impressively.
But he jumps well. He handles this ground very well.
He jumps brilliant, and he loves the good ground. Yeah.
But he's only a 7-year-old. I mean, do you think he's getting better?
No, yeah, for sure. He's improving every time, and I'd say he'll be better again next season. With someone on his
It's
back.
funny, sort of going back and looking at the history of some of these horses, because I think he started off with Harry Fry.
He was with Harry Fry, yes.
And he was 0 from 5 ever hurdles. Didn't really do an awful lot.
It just sort of took time, and he's a big horse, and he's always sort of been built for fences. And Harry ran him twice in bumpers, and only had him while he was a novice hurdler. So Phil and Lorraine have quite luckily sent him to us, and we've got his head in front.
So they take time to mature,
no,
really?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And he's a Scorpion, so he's got his own ideas about things. But no,
yeah, they
good.
can be. Scorpion was well named, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Really, because
yeah.
he, they rather act like scorpions, but
No,
he seems to be a pretty genuine one.
No, yeah, he is. To be fair, he's good.
But he obviously takes his racing very well as well.
We were saying before the race, his first race was in November at Larkhill, and now we're in second week
May.
in May.
So he's been on the go the whole time. So he's
never lost any condition. He looked as fat as he did today than he did before the first run.
I thought he looked fantastic actually, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did.
Very good.
Anything else on the card today to look out for?
I've just got to run down now and saddle the second runner. That's not Moylan in the intermediate. Hopefully he can bounce back after a disappointing run in the intermediate final at Exeter.
Any reason for that?
Probably just one run too many in a short space of time, really.
Right, and there's a presentation about to take
yes,
place. So you better. Very nice to talk to you.
No problem. Thank you very much.
May speak to you later.
Hope to speak to you again.
Fantastic, and they're saddling up for the next race as well. That was very good. So the favourite has won the first. It's great to hear. I mean, he's only a 7-year-old, the Big Sting. He's getting better. I mean, Porter Clock's only a 7-year-old, but he's had a very good season. He won at Exeter, albeit narrowly, last time. But it's great. There was a real buzz about the place today as I look over my shoulder. The next race is due off at 2:35, so we've got a little bit of time. But it's an interesting race. I'm looking forward to when the market is formed. The bookmakers have blank boards at the moment, probably paying out substantially in the first race. Anyone piling on at 7-4 on went off, I think, around about 11-4 on, or 3-1 on the Big Sting. And as we just heard there, what a tough horse, because that's his sixth win and 8th race of the season. So he's been kept very busy indeed. So exciting times ahead, and then maybe he'll be running again before the end of this current season. Will Biddick will certainly be riding a few more winners. In fact, he's got a ride in the next race, which we'll have a look at. Give you the runners and riders as soon as we can. And in the next race, we've got Charlie Sprake, who I had a word with him as we arrived, and I think he's joint leader in the novice riders at the moment. In the national novice riders, there's a northern rider whose name I've completely forgotten, which I ought to know. I can't remember. Anyway, Charlie Sprake is desperate to win it, and he's trying to gather points and ride more winners. And we'll give you the declarations for the next race. Let's have a look at those. There are 4 of them. Another good race, I think, in prospect here. The 4 runners are the bottom 4, actually. There we go. We suddenly just by a flick of the wrist, we can just get rid of the other ones. Number 4 is Dr. Rhythm, who is ridden by Josh Newman, trained by Keith Cummings. Number 5 is Jabir, who's owned by Mary Sanderson, and will be ridden by Charlie Sprake, who I've just been talking about. Number 6 is Knockmoylan, with Will Biddick going for his second winner of the afternoon. Another one for Chris Barber, Knockmoylan, owned by the Bay Mizzy Rollers Club. Won 3 of his last 4 starts. And Transition Period, who's been in fantastic form. Darren Edwards, who was second in that previous race. Dean Summersby's riding Transition Period here, who seems to be in good form. So I think it's a closely contested race. It looks that way because they've all got good form. Dr. Rhythm and Transition Period are both winners last time out. Jabir finished second last time out, and Knockmoylan had won 3 of his last 4 until, as we heard, he just didn't run that badly last time. And in the Devon and Cornwall area, Will is a few points ahead of Darren Edwards. I thought he'd be a long way, but not so. Darren is fighting hard. Simon has made a comeback. So 11-4 on was that last?
It's actually returned bottle on, 2-1 on.
Really?
Yep. 2 to 1 on.
I thought they were piling on.
Well,
So I thought anyone
enough
who,
bookmakers that hadn't laid it.
So 7 to 4 on was about the best you could get there, probably.
I just interviewed bookmaker Mike Smith. I don't know if they've shown it yet, and he actually backed it himself at 4 to 5, and then laid it at 1 to 2. So a clever bit of bookmaking. So 4 to 5 was available really early.
That's quite shrewd. That's good money management, isn't it? Really.
That's traditional sort of bookmaking tactics.
Absolutely.
To do that.
Okay, what can you tell us?
Well, what I can tell you is I've got 2 go-to bookmakers that I always ask what they fancy. Very shrewd, very clever.
Yep.
And I said, what wins this? And he made a face. So it's between. It's actually a good race. 4 runners. They make Dr. Rhythm and Knockmoylan. They can't separate the pair, so they're 6 to 5 each of 2.
I like that.
Transition period is 7 to 2, and Jabir is 5 to 1. So there's a really tight betting heat. They're waiting for the punters to tell them which one of the short ones is gonna go off favourite, but nothing can be ruled out.
So the bookies wouldn't put their head on the block and say which one they thought. They thought it was that tight.
Yeah, because normally if he says he really fancies one, then I back it.
Yeah.
He made a face and he said it's a tight race.
Yeah, great. Okay, we'll wait and see. One of them will definitely go off favourite in the end. Dr. Rhythm and Knockmoylan. And Simon just mentioned the interview, which I think will be well worth watching right now.
Right, Mike Smith, bookmaker, the first favourite, been back from 4 to 5 into bottle on, I think it's gone off. So was it?
2 to 1 on left, we went.
So how was that for you?
Yes, I was lucky, so I backed it 4 to 5. I was with it. I didn't think they would suit it in the front, so yes, good start at Newman.
So what do you do with that situation? You back it at 4 to 5 and then make it a better percentage for you in the book, or do you just go with it?
I knew there'd be money for it. I managed to make 4 to 7 bits and pieces, so it worked out also gave me money.
Brilliant, thanks Mike.
Well, there we heard it from the horse's mouth, as it were. Mike Smith, the bookmaker, who backed the winner in the previous race and laid it at a much shorter price. That's what betting's all about. That's what I long to do. Back a horse at even money and then lay it at 3 to 1 on. You're laughing then, can't lose. So well done to Mike Smith. We'll be hearing more of Simon's invaluable little snippets during the afternoon. Won't be that long before the first of them appear in the parade ring behind me. It's a good, I'd say, rectangular parade ring. I've seen much smaller. This is a good size, and we'll see the 4 runners quite soon for our next race. I'm looking forward to. I'll save my form comments until we see them. But meanwhile, I can see people wandering all over the place, going out into the country. Many people just come here not necessarily to have a bet, but they might have a picnic, they might go for a walk, and we've got the presentation there. Will Biddick receiving the first of his trophies for the afternoon. I saw a whole stack of bottles of champagne and things in the officials. Well, it's like a big shed really. It's a fantastic sort of barn over on the far side where the jockey's changing room is, and everything seems to happen. There's a medical room, there's a little canteen there as well. The facilities at Point of Points are so good these days. And there he is, he's running off Will Biddick because he's got a busy afternoon, and he's got another ride here on Knockmoylan for Chris Barber in the colours of the Bay Mizzy Rollers Club. And the runners should be well, the first of them will be coming in. How are we for time? 2:35. Well, they should be coming in quite soon, actually, right now. But meanwhile, just having a look around the track, which I rather enjoy. I was watching the excellent coverage on Pointing DC last weekend, and I rather enjoyed just hearing the hubbub of the crowd, seeing them going around. There we are, pointingdc.co.uk. If you can't be here for any reason, and many, there are a lot of things going on at this time of year, you can tune in. You can watch the live stream, and I can see there behind the first of the runners in the parade ring, and it's Knockmoylan, who is one of the joint favourites when Simon last spoke to us. Let's have a look at Knockmoylan, who is trained by Chris Barber. Was trained in Ireland originally, rather like the previous winner. Didn't do an awful lot in in his early days. He was trained in Ireland by Elmarie Holden, who's a good trainer actually, and was 0 from 5 over fences, but he just seems to have found his game point to pointing. He's won 3 of his last 4. He looks in fantastic shape, going past absolutely superb. They're beautiful animals, horses, they really are, and when they're turned out like that, whatever the wind's the best turned out will have to be on its A game. But he's won 3 of his 4 pointer points, last 4. They were all in March. Last ran, he ran in an Exeter hunter chase. Funnily enough, he finished behind Porter Clock in that race that I mentioned at Exeter before. Porter Clock, who was second in the first race, he ran in the same race, and he was beaten a long way back in 3rd place. But back in this sort of company, and in the form he was in before, and with Will Biddick on board, I think he'd have a good chance. There's number 5 we're looking at now, who is the outsider of the 4, but a little bit inconsistent, but he's in good hands with Charlie Sprake on board, owned by Mary Sanderson. And his general, he's won here twice before. He's won a maiden race and a restricted, so that I think is a big tick, because he likes the track. And he was beaten a neck at Kilworthy by Footloose, and last time he was second behind an odds-on favourite, a horse that Sam Loxton trained called West Hill at Stafford Cross, finished 4 lengths behind West Hill. So that's not bad form. There have been a few letters in his form. Unshipped his rider second time out this season and then pulled up 2 runs back, but he could have a chance. There's number 4. That's Dr. Rhythm, who is the mount of Josh Newman. He ran a couple of races for Paul Nicholls actually back in 2017, 2018. Really didn't do an awful lot, but another horse that's really found his game in point to points. There's one, he fell 2 runs back, and that was in a hunter chase at Exeter, but he was a length second to the Big Sting. That form's looking quite good. The Big Sting was the winner of our first race. He was beaten a length by the Big Sting at Millbourne in an intermediate race there, and then won. He was 5-1 on favourite. He won a members match, beat a horse called McNamara's Band by 3 lengths. So he comes here in pretty good form. Well, that's number 4 we're looking at, Dr. Rhythm. As I say, ran a couple of races for Paul Nicholls. So I think it's quite an intriguing race, and we'll see when to see number 7 come past. We haven't looked at number 7 yet. If we can get a look at number 7, transition period. Who's been there? There he is. He's been in good form. He's the youngest in the field. He's only a 6-year-old. Owned by John and Sonia Gardner, trained by Dean Summersby, and Darren Edwards is on board after every point he can get in the championship. He won a North Cornwall maiden. I mean, he's been second a few times, but last time out returned to winning ways, beat Say About It in a restricted at Axevale last time out, so arrives here in good form. I mean, there aren't many of the 4 who are out of form at the moment, so I think this is a really competitive race, and it'll be very interesting to see which one of them, either Dr. Rhythm or Knockmoylan, will be favourite. And the owner of Dr. Rhythm, who is Christina Dunsford, used to have a fantastic point-to-point horse you might remember, called Mines a Gin, known as Gordon. I can see the point of that one. That's a great one. I remember a horse that Josh Gifford used to train called Sirs at the Gin. He used to always raise a smile whenever he ran. I can see Simon hovering. Whether he's got... No, he's walking away again now. See with any further news, but let's just have a look at them in the parade ring, watched by, well, over on that far side, but 3 or 4 deep on the parade ring, so real interest. I think there's nothing like actually having a look. I'm rather intimidated by paddock judges who seem to give a lot of technical talk, and it doesn't amount to much. I think just using your eyes, just looking at them as athletes, I think that's the best way to do it, really. And looking at them, just passing by me here, number 7, his transition period, who's beautifully turned out. Hasn't got that sort of summer sheen on his coat, but maybe that's, again, that might be the way he is. Number 4 has just walked past me now, Dr. Rhythm. Again, looks really well. Big, strong, powerful, strapping chaser, Dr. Rhythm. Just walking away from us, and just coming up to me now is number 5. Have a look at number 5, which is Jabir. There we are, just walking through shot. And as I say, he's been in quite good form. He ran a good race last time behind a 2-1 on favourite, and he got beaten 4 lengths in the end in an intermediate at Stafford Cross. So comes here in quite good form. He is the old boy. Jockey should be in quite soon. Just watching them a few more circuits, and then they'll be heading down to the start on, I keep on saying it, but it is the most beautiful afternoon. We've got a bit of cloud cover at the moment. Best turned out, I can give it hot off the press. Number 5, Jabir, is the best turned out. They don't always win, but it's a first prize. I must say, he's just walked past me now, and yeah, I think he's a well-deserved winner of the best turned out. He looks in fantastic form. I like the markings of number 6, Knockmoylan, who's got a couple of white feet, and again he looks very athletic indeed. Just walking past us again, his transition period. The jockeys should be in quite soon, making their way over. I can see them wandering over now, actually. I can see the orange and black hoop of Charlie Sprake, who will be given the leg up on Jabir there he is, there's Charlie. So he's doing really well, joint leader in the national novices title, and was a northern challenger. He told me the name of the person who's he's jointly in the lead with, but I can't remember his name. But and they're walking in. Looks like Darren Edwards in the blue and red diamonds. Will Biddick will be in the pink and yellow sleeves just in front of us there. And there are 14, so there'll be no division in the maiden. There are 14 though, which is a really good turnout, which is excellent. So there'll be no division in the maiden, but 14 have been declared, 14 of the 33, which I think is a pretty good. I think it's pretty representative of the take-up this afternoon. We've got 4 of the 7 here, so well done to the hard work, and I'm sure it was hard work, putting hundreds and thousands of gallons of water on the track. That's a good tent behind, isn't it? There's a vodka there. toursvodka.co.uk. I shouldn't really be advertising, but I wonder are there free samples? Not for the likes of us, that's for sure. let's just give you the result, recap the result of our first race. And Will Biddick's got a ride in the third race, I can tell you that, but more of that a bit later on. He's ridden the first winner, the Big Sting, who was the 7-4 on favourite in the end, beating Porter Clock, who was 6-4 by 20 lengths in the end, a very easy win. The hoist is going up, taking Mark Dennis to the skies as we wave to him from below. He's got a great view up there, and we'll hear him calling down the runners. We're just about to leave the parade ring now, and we can see them trooping out onto the course. And he will be calling them down. 4 runners for this race. We'll get a betting update, I hope, from Simon quite soon. I think he's over with the nasty bookies at the moment, giving us the. I'll just be fascinated to see who's going to go off favourite, either Dr. Rhythm or Knockmoylan. It looks like it's going to be one of those two, but we'll get an update from Simon very, very shortly. Meanwhile, the next voice you'll hear, he's just preparing himself, will be Mark Dennis, who will be calling the runners down to the start for this Ashgrove and Rangemore Kitchens intermediate race coming up next.
So we move on now, ladies and gentlemen, to our second race on the of the afternoon. This is the Ashgrove and Rangemore Kitchens intermediate race. And the runners now on their way out of the paddock and down to the start. And the first out we see is number 7, that's Transition Period, ridden by Mr. Darren Edwards, blue and red diamonds with a red cap. Next out is number 4, that's Dr. Rhythm, ridden by Mr. Josh Newman, dark blue and mauve quarters with a dark blue sleeves and mauve armlets and a quartered cap. Following this one down to be number 5, that's Jabir, ridden by Mr. Charlie Sprake. That's orange with the black hoop, black hoops on sleeves and a white cap. And the final one to go down is number 6, that's Knockmoylan, ridden by Mr. Will Biddick, pink with the yellow sleeves, pink spots, and a yellow cap with pink spots. So those are the 4 runners that go to post then for the second race, the intermediate. They're due away at 2:35, and so we are 2 minutes past post time already.
So the runners on the way to the start, the 4 runners on the way to the start for this intermediate race, and Simon Knott is back with a betting update. I can't wait. Dr. Rhythm or Knockmoylan Lad, which one's going to go off favourite?
Still neck and neck, to be honest with you, Bob. 11-8, Dr. Rhythm, best price you can get at the moment. Jabir 6-1, Knockmoylan 6-4. The transition period 7-2, 1 out to 5-1. Few people back that, but got to say it's very quiet. One of the bookmakers said to me, "There's loads of people here, they're not getting their money out."
That's a shame, really, because you'd have thought, with 2 here, I mean, basically they're joint favourites, aren't they? Pretty well. Dr. Rhythm and Knockmoylan, you'd have thought people would be having a punt.
They don't appear.
So the big hitters aren't here today. No carrier bags full of £50 notes.
Biggest bet I've seen is 40 quid so far.
No, so the bookmakers are looking a bit glum, are they?
They all stood there looking around, and there's probably too many of them. So there'll be good value for the punters because they'll be all competing for their business.
Absolutely.
Come racing.
Anyway, I thought we were going to get something that's going to go off a definite favourite. So just Dr. Rhythm at the moment.
Yeah, but see, as there is money for transition period as well, that's the fly in the ointment. So, it's a race. Any of them
is that still 7-2? Is it?
It opened 7-2, went out to 5-1. People took the 5-1 back into 7-2, but they probably only took the 5-1 to relatively small amounts of money.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. Anyway, not because some of the points we've been covering on pointing DC this winter and spring, there have been some really quite substantial bets, but small money today. We can do nothing about that, and we might just have time to see maybe both of Simon's videos, but certainly this one right now.
Oh, look out, here comes Crewkerne. Cheers, thank you.
Richard, the last time I got you on film, you were smirking away to yourself after being overs every race at Fleet Park. How'd you fancy today?
It's a completely different experience today, I'm afraid. This is very quiet and the business is really poor. So if I go away winning today, I'm going to be happy.
And have you sorted them all out for the day?
I've tried my best, but it's quite a hard card. I'm a bit hopeful later on that I can sort a couple, but these early races are tricky.
Yeah, that means he's got them all sorted out, everybody. You don't get number one pitch for nothing.
Well, for a bookmaker who doesn't look that happy, he looks Richard Pittard, and things might pick up. But they're off and running for our second race.
And Knockmollen leads them off towards the first of the 18 fences. About a length and a half clear then. Transition period on the outside in second, and Dr. Rhythm on the inside. Just shown in third from Jabir, who's a couple of lengths off of them back and forth, and the back marker as they make their way around the top bend now. So Knockmollen, dual winner down at Trebudannon earlier in the season, and third in the intermediate final at Exeter. Same race that was won by Porter Clock as they round the turn then and race back towards us, take the fence at the top of the hill. Knockmollen wasn't at all high at that, but he got over it okay all the same as they continue on down then. Knockmollen in the centre, transition period a little bit wider out. Dr. Rhythm just on the heels of the leader on the inside, and Jabir still the back marker under Charlie Sprake. Charlie works for Will Biddick, so master and pupil in the same race as they cross the next then, and they're all over that safely, and now settle down for a bit of a run to the next, passing the judge en route. So Knockmollen and Dr. Rhythm, both even money favourites with the bookmakers, or there or thereabouts when I was there. So they take on another plain fence then, and they all sail over that okay. And now prepare for a bit of a run around the bottom end of the course. Sweeping right-hander, ground officially described as good. Been watered very well by clerk of the course and course owner John Hurd and family. Done a real good job, and the runners now at the bottom end of the back straight. 3 plain fences to take in this part of the course. Knockmollen then leads them up to the first of the plain fences. Comes to it now. Sails out over it. Transition period took a little bit of a chance with it. And Jabir now just makes a length or two up on the inside of Dr. Rhythm as they sort themselves out for the open ditch for the first time. Come to it. Leader just steadied into it slightly. Transition period also just lost a bit of a ground in the air there as they continue past their point of departure then. One circuit completed in this intermediate and on towards another plain fence. So Knockmollen still with the advantage, led pretty much from flagfall. Dr. Rhythm, Jabir in the orange colours on the inside, and transition widest of all under Darren Edwards on the outside. So they now leave the back behind them and begin their run around the top of the course for the second time. And still Knockmollen just increased his lead, maybe 2 lengths clear now. Transition period wider out as they cross the next end. They sail over it and all jump it pretty well. So Dr. Rhythm even money, Knockmollen even money. 3-1 is transition period, and Jabir just the outsider at 5-1 as they now prepare to cross another plain fence. And we've lost transition period. Unfortunately didn't get away with that one. So we're back to 3 then. Knockmollen just put down there and fiddled that Knockmollen. So Dr. Rhythm and Knockmollen now past the judge with a circuit ahead of them to race, and Jabir sits in the slipstream of the 2 leaders, and they make their way on down to another plain fence. Knockmollen jumps it well enough, a little bit untidy in the air there, but They now race right-handed at the bottom end of the course for the final time then. Just under a circuit left to race in this intermediate. So Knockmullen is now going to try and run the finish out of his rivals. A length clear then of Dr. Rhythm. On the outside, a winner at South Hill last week. The members' race, a runner of two runner affair. Jabir still the back marker as they reach the first one in the back straight then, and we have lost Knockmullen and Dr. Rhythm. Knockmullen and Dr. Rhythm both unseat at the first in the back straight. So that has left Jabir in glorious isolation under Charlie Sprake. Charlie looks delighted with things. He's got 2 loose horses to concern himself with, and 4 plain fences remain. So we can't count our chickens just yet. So Jabir takes on the final plain fence in the back straight, and he's over that safely, and now gave up the fight in the end. And I'm not sure quite what happened to Josh Newman, but neither of them look overly impressed with what has just happened. So anyway, it's Jabir, star of the show, comes to the third last, and he's out over it safely. This was the outsider, ladies and gentlemen, 5-1 outsider. He's going to have to bypass the second last, unfortunately. So 1 fence remains between Jabir and victory. So keep in mind, and another loose horse looks to be galloping back towards him. But anyway, he's got past those now and races down to the final fence then. Charlie will be keeping hold of his head, and he's got him over it nicely. So Jabir is going to be the only finisher for the intermediate, and takes it in fine style in the end.
Well, it was a very, very eventful race. There is the winner, Jabir, who has finished alone. I'm afraid that transition period took a very heavy fall, and things don't look that good for transition period, I'm sorry to say. I'm told that Darren Edwards walked away okay, so I hope he's okay, but not so good for transition period. And then the most extraordinary, I haven't seen anything like it really, when Knockmullen and Will Biddick made a bad mistake. He was coming off, gravity was winning, and then he grabbed to his left, and it was Dr. Rhythm he grabbed at, and I think he brought Josh Newman down. That was my interpretation of it when we first saw it. We can have a look at the replay. Simon is with me now, just watching this. Simon, Will Biddick makes a bad mistake, and when it's slow motion there, he nearly comes off. He almost jumps off the back, and he brings Josh Newman. Have you seen anything like that before?
No, I haven't. I've never seen anything like that. He'll get warned off, won't he?
Well, I suppose, the rules have got to be interpreted. I don't know, I'm not a steward, but I suppose human nature makes you, you're grabbing for some sort of life raft. And the life raft he was grabbing for.
If that had been under rules, the Betfair Forum would be alive.
Dr. Rhythm, because I don't think Will was going to stay on board on Knockmullen, and Dr. Rhythm could well have won. In the end, who won the battle of being favourite?
The favourite was Dr. Rhythm, 11-8.
It was.
Yeah, but Jabir trained near me in Tiverton, Mary Sanderson.
That was the outsider of the 4.
Yeah, outsider of the 4. So the bookmakers were desperate that Jabir finished. Otherwise, they had to give it all back.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. I've got a guest coming along. Primary school Anna Highlands had her first winner 2 weeks ago. Nikki Steele here today. Anna, hello.
Hello.
How nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How exciting was that?
Oh, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, I've waited 5 seasons for it, so it was definitely worth the wait.
That's quite a long time to wait, isn't it?
It is quite a long time to wait. I only have 1 horse per season, so yeah, Nicky managed to get his head over the line first for me.
I think it's fantastic. I think that's where point to pointing is so brilliant, because in under national hunt rules, it's sort of the big guns seem to rule everything, and it's very hard for the one horse owner trainer to succeed. But that's fantastic. Tell us a bit about the horse.
So I purchased him last year from Daniel, born in Wales, to go to the Channings. So he's trained by Robert Channing for me, who's an old family friend, and they've worked wonders with him because he is an absolute monkey. So they've done a really, really good job with him.
And what's his general? Which one's he down to run in?
He's going in the Novice Riders later today.
And I mean, how you say you've had him for a little while? Is he less of a monkey now than he was?
He's a bit easier to channel the monkeyness, but he's definitely still a monkey.
I'm also seeing a message you featured in Horse and Hound.
Yeah. I featured in Horse and Hound this year, this week.
For losing 9.5. What, you were 9.5 stone heavier than you are now?
Yeah, my heaviest I was about 19.5 stone. I lost 9.5 stone to start pointing 5 years ago, yeah.
That is unbelievable. What sort of effort is that?
Yeah, it was. I sort of said to my friends, I think I'd like to have a go, and then realised the maths of actually how much weight I'd have to lose to have a go. And they sort of said, well, if you can do it, we'll find you a horse. And then lovely Bryony Frost gave me Railway Vic when I did lose the weight to have my first go on.
And how long did that take?
About a year. Yeah, it took about a year to lose it.
Because 9.5 stone is the weight of the average jockey, isn't it?
Yeah. It took a little while, and then, like I say, when it sort of started coming off, it's the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's the easiest mathematically. You just eat less and move around more.
But you look the picture of health now. I mean, do you feel just a million times better?
I feel a million times better, and it's really funny actually being sort of at the races with people who knew me when I was big, and then they're like, "Oh, she's now riding in races. This is really weird."
I think that's amazing. And was there suddenly sort of a moment when the sort of I don't know, it occurred to you?
I am that sort of person who literally woke up in the morning and went, guys, you're going to have to stop me eating chocolate because I've got a lot of weight to lose. And everyone went, yeah, fair play, all right. And that's just, it sort of just happened.
And if it's not a rude question, I mean, had you been quite a considerable weight for quite a long time?
Yeah, I was always sort of quite little growing up, and then sort of teenage years happened and you can control what you eat, so I just put on a lot of weight. And then, so yeah, I got to 21 and just went, I need to sort this out.
I mean, you look quite sort of small boned. I mean, you look as if you look completely as you are now. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's quite funny when you show people pictures from before that they go, oh, that really is you. But yeah, I used to have to ride really big cobs, so now it's quite fun to have a thoroughbred.
I suppose when you're teaching, it's quite gradual.
Yes, yeah.
So they gradually see teacher coming and just looking a little bit.
Definitely.
And more news. I get shares news of riding with children. Do they take an interest as a primary school teacher?
Yeah, they watch the races on a Monday, or as soon as they come on the Point to Point website. And they like it when I fall off more than when I do really, really well.
So what's your overall riding record then?
I've had 31 rides, and I've had 9 top 3 finishes. But I just really was struggling to find that winner.
That's fantastic. I think it's one of the best stories I've ever heard. And did you ride as a child? Did you always ride?
Yeah, I grew up on Dartmoor. Mum and Dad literally got me some feral ponies, and like I say, it was the hunt we were with the Dartmoor hunt, and it was me, Bryony Frost, Michael and Barney Trenier, Thomasina Easton, the Welshes. So it's just a sort of, we all grew up as children on Dartmoor, just riding and playing ponies.
Well, what a joy it is to me. I'm just amazed. I'm just so extraordinary. Sometimes when, we all make excuses for things, don't we? I'd love to lose sort of, 5 or 6 pounds, and you make an excuse thinking, oh, I'll just have a packet of crisps and this. Is that how it is? You've got to make a real concerted effort not to,
I think it's like a lifestyle thing, isn't it? And if you want it that much, you'll do it. And I really wanted to have a go, and I wanted to turn sort of my life into something that it wasn't, and that it was kind of.
And it'll always be like that, I hope, from now on.
Yeah, I think it will. Like I say, the weight's been off for the last 5 seasons pointing to do this, and I can't see me stopping anytime soon. Much to my fiance's despair, because he'd love me to give up.
He would. He would.
He gets jittery, dear of him.
He gets no. Well, I think that's good. If he didn't get jittery, he wouldn't be right, really.
This is very true as well. Yeah.
Sorry, just go back to the race you're in. Is the
novice riders. We always call it the nervous riders.
The nervous. I know. But that's a great idea for
it's
for
fantastic.
bringing along new.
It's so good, and so good for people like me, because it means you know, the true amateurs of the sport who aren't going to be able to ride winners every weekend get another conditions race that we can go in.
Because I met Jack Instance
Yes.
the other day. I mean, I've seen him. He was leading up today, and I met him at Newton Abbot races last week. And apparently he rode his first winner quite recently. He was punching the air as if he'd won the...
That was literally me. It was very embarrassing.
What was the actual thing as you crossed the line?
Just the relief that I'd finally done it and got a winner for the Channons, because they've been so good to me over these last few seasons.
But Nicky Steele was originally trained by Dr. Newland, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was with Richard Newland, and then he went to Daniel Bourne in Wales, and I bought him out of his yard. He won at Stratford for Daniel, and then was getting on a bit, and Daniel thought it was sort of time to go and get his string a bit younger. So I met him on the side of a Welsh mountain, rode Nicky up the hill, and thought, yeah, you're pretty cool. So he came home with me.
You know, they made a film about that Welsh Grand National winner. I think they could do the same. They could do the same, because it's a fairy story, really, isn't it?
It's a really cool, yeah. When
Because
I look back,
I mean, Nicky Steele is very much part of the whole story.
he is, he's a character in himself, and I think the fact he is such a lovable rogue has just made it ever so special for me, because he's one in a million. There'll never be another one like him.
No, and he's 12 years old and still going strong.
Oh, he is such a monkey, like I say. Yesterday I was out riding at the Channons, and we took Nick out with the 4-year-old that runs for the first time today. That was behaving beautifully, and Nick was cantering sideways, and you just look at him and go, if I have this much enthusiasm when I'm at your age, fair play, Nick, because he just loves life. And I can't. Well,
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Oh, no, don't, because watching me get on's a nightmare, because he often
We're going to be watching so closely.
Please don't.
But it's a pleasure to meet you.
An absolute pleasure to meet you too.
And, very good luck and well done. I think it's a fantastic story. Did you watch that last race? Did you see...
Yeah, I was trying to work out what happened, because I saw...
Will Biddick was...
I saw Will sort of doing something.
He was going to be unseated. He was going over the side, so he grabbed, like you would if you were sort of drowning, the nearest thing, and it was Josh on his left.
Oh, that could be fun in the weighing room later.
I think there's something going on. We can see sort of smoke rising from the weighing room right now.
Oh, well, I saw what looked like Strictly Come Dancing is the only way I can describe it. There was a lot of arm motions going on. I couldn't quite work out what was happening.
I suppose if you are sort of about to fall, you go like that. You reach out. Ooh. And he reached out, and it happened to be Josh on his immediate left.
Luckily, they are such gentlemen. They will shake hands at the end of this and forgive each other. But yes, like I say, I think there might be smoke rising out of the weighing room in a minute.
I'm sure no one has angry words with you on the way around, do you? It's all
no, do you know what? Everyone is so lovely. I think everyone is so nice and knows sort of where I've come from, and the fact that tomorrow morning I've got to go and teach the children. So they're just so lovely to me.
And they'll be watching, and they'll be able to see the replay tomorrow.
Oh, they love it. They absolutely love it. The first thing on a Monday morning is Miss Highlands, can we watch the racing? They're great at fractions. Absolutely brilliant at fractions.
Very good luck. Lovely to speak to you. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you very much. What a joy. I think it's one of the most enjoyable interviews. I don't know whether she enjoyed it as much, but I certainly did. It was fantastic to lose 9.5 stone. I'll ask Simon Knott about that. Are you about to step forward? What would happen if you lost? It's not an amazing effort to lose 9.5 stone.
I didn't hear the interview, Bob. I was over by the bookmakers, but anybody can lose 9.5 stone is very good.
Well, she used to be 19.5 stone.
Wow.
Anna Highlands, and she's ridden the point-to-point winner because she wanted to do that, and she's a picture of health. Unbelievable.
Here comes Mary Sanderson. Hello, Mary.
Are you going to quickly give us a better...
Yes, I will. Right, this race, it's all about Mount Oscar. The people are up there asking bookmakers for big bets, 200 quids, whatever.
So the money's now
Mount
coming out.
Mount Oscar is the talking horse. This is the one they all want to be on. Apparently one bookmaker went 5-1 and got filled in. It's now
Fly
7-4
McIntyre
chance.
rides.
Richard Pittard laid a 400-2. So this is the one that they think they're going to get the money on today.
Costs 32,000 euros as a yearling, but not that that means much these days. So what sort of price is that at the moment? Or
7-4 chance now, but it's still early in the betting. If you want a complete rundown, I'll give you one. This is early doors mine. They go Bucks Billion 6-1, Sillabrook 20, Clayway 14, Coxborough Bala 4, Cornish Cavalier 25, Daisy Yates 10-1, Firefly Lane 12, Full Speeds 12.
Mykonos Amos, number 26. Is that
I've not got there yet.
Oh, sorry.
Liberty Rock 7-4, Mount Oscar 7-4, but they're running scared at the moment with that one. Mykonos Amos is 4-1, and Onward Soldier is 8-1. But this is the one,
Mount Oscar. Mary Sanderson is here, clutching a bottle of champagne. Mary, well done.
Hello, Mary.
Step up to the red circle. That was one of the most extraordinary races I've ever seen in my life. It really was.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a trophy.
That's my son, my grandson. This is my trophy. Yeah.
That's quite a trophy, isn't it?
Yes.
I like that. But, I mean, Jabir's done you...
Jabir, yeah, he's been very good.
Really?
He won all 3 races down here, yeah. All his races been here, really.
I noticed that, but he's won. That's the 3rd time he's won here now.
Yeah, likes the course.
So he obviously likes the track a lot.
Yeah.
And who knows what would have happened if one of the others, but, you know, that is racing.
Yeah, jockey said he was going well anyway.
And how many horses have been, and a valuable winner for Charlie Sprake as well, because I think he goes into the lead now as in the Novices Championship.
Yeah.
But what about the horse? What sort of horse is he to
lovely.
own?
I always ride him. I do everything with him. He's a bit highly strong, but he don't buck or nothing. But he's I've had him since he's been 3-year-old. I've got him broke in and been with him ever since.
And have you got quite a few horses on the go?
No, I've got another one which came second yesterday, Grove Ash, which I trained for my friend. And my 2 granddaughters, they got a horse each. And we got Diligent, which is national honey, runs at Newton Abbot on Wednesday. He's won some races for Nodgel Hawk, but he comes home and he goes back there. And
what a shame I'm not there, because I was there last Wednesday, and good luck on this Wednesday.
Wednesday he runs, yeah.
And is this is your grandson?
Yeah.
Are you a rider too?
No, he's a footballer.
Footballer?
Yeah.
Which team do you support?
Man U.
They're they haven't had a great year, have they? No.
Yeah.
You won't be that's like the FA Cup, really, isn't it? Fantastic, Mary. Very nice to talk to you.
And you.
Very good luck. And keep hold of that cup.
Yeah. All right,
trophy.
You.
Thank you. Marvellous. Well, the runners are in the... we've quite a lot to look at, so we can just have a look over my shoulder and look at some of these. I'm looking forward to seeing the horse that Simon was talking about. And if you missed that, the one they're all keen to back is number 24, Mount Oscar. I do like dogs, but when they yap, they really drive me mad. It's a spaniel. They can be a bit yappy. But anyway, it's having a nice time, and it's probably just very excited about the racing. But if I had my way, I'd give it a biscuit or something. So we'll try and find Mount Oscar. He is number so many. It's embarrassment of riches here. Number 24. Fly McIntyre rides Mount Oscar. He was placed in 3 Irish maidens in point to points, and he ran at Chaddesley Corbett. He was beaten 12 lengths. He was bang there until he felt the pinch. And Charlie Sprake, he's in the next race, so we might talk to him during the afternoon, I hope. Rita is nodding. So let's have a look and see what comes. That's number 32. Let's stick with 32. Who is that? That's for me to tell you, isn't it? So many bits of paper here. 32 is Star Walker. Jimmy Cole rides. Star Walker hasn't done an awful lot. Only had 3 runs. Finished second behind. I was there behind Bingo Dolivate at Cherrybrook in a members match. I wouldn't have thought that form was good enough, and he's run since he was pulled up in a maiden next time. So I think probably Star Walker will not be winning, but you never know. I'm longing to hear when we get news from the stewards' room about that last race, because it'll be very, very revealing indeed. And I must say, someone looking very contemplative. There's number 33. Have we looked at 33? Was that the one we were just looking at? The one I'd really like to find, if we can, is the one that's been attracting all the support, number 24. One just getting a little bit warm in front was number 13, which is Full Spays. Was with Warren Greatrex Full Spays, actually. I seem to remember that. Grey horse. There is 24. Fantastic how we can find these horses. That is Mount Oscar. Mount Oscar, as I say, costs €32,000 a yearling, but that's no guide to success, honestly, these days. He ran in a few Irish point-to-points. He was placed 3 times. We're talking going back 2019-20. He's a local horse. Mr. Redaway is his owner here at Eggesford, and he finished third behind Forest Chimes, as I say, at Chattersley Corbett. I must say he looks particularly well. His overall form figures are not, I mean, it's a maiden race, so obviously the form figures aren't going to be that great. He's had a few chances, but he's finished third in his last two starts, and interesting to see whether the money is successful or not. 7-4, which I think for a large field of maidens is quite a lot. What else can we have a look at? I wouldn't mind trying to find the one that caught my eye was number 26, who's got these very uninspiring form figures, have unseated his rider last three times, Mykonos Amos, who comes from North Cornwall. Ryan Chapman owns him, and Fionn Summers is on board, and Fionn was on board last time when Mykonos Amos was in a maiden, seemed to jump the last okay, and just swerved. That is number 26. Maybe he's just a bit of a character, because he seemed to jump okay, but he swerved and unsipped Fionn. Vinny is on number 33, Vinny Webster. Wouldn't Woody. He's had several when he's riding with confidence, and he's the leading novice in Devon and Cornwall. Wow. So Vinny Webster, the confident Vinny Webster, rides Wouldn't Woody. We try and get a glimpse of number 33. I know we're doing very well at trying to spot these runners, especially with the saddlecloths blowing in this gentle breeze. It's a most glorious Sunday afternoon. Numbers 20. Let's have a look at 26. 26 is that's 26. I looked at 28. The one we were looking at when I was talking about number 26 was 28, owned by Jill Dennis, actually, Onward Soldier, a 4-year-old who hasn't had much racing, has never run actually before. But 26 was the one I was took down as to 26, who seems to be a bit of a character, because he's unseated his rider, Fionn Summers, on his last three runs, and last time he was robbed because he just swerved right and unshipped his rider at the last. The race was won by Little Peachy, but he was a 14-to-1 shot. He was 4-to-1 when Simon came over before, so he could be an interesting one. Best turned out, let's just tell you, is number 8, Daisy Yates. Charlie Sprake is on board. Charlie Sprake had that slightly fortuitous winner in the previous race when two of them came down at the same fence. More on that, I'm sure, a bit later on. But number 8, Daisy Yates, just had a few runs, got beaten 15-16 lengths in a Dunsmore maiden, and then ran in another maiden at Axevale and got beaten 24 lengths. So Daisy Yates looks good. She's got to produce it on course so far. She's predictably Daisy Yates by Yates, that fantastic stayer out of Montes Las. Now we're looking at number 33, which was the one I was talking about, the Vinny Webster rides, Wouldn't Woody, who's got just one piece of form to see how they behave in the preliminaries. He seems to be pretty calm. He's a 4-year-old by Cannock Chase. He got beaten 18 lengths on his first run in a flat race, so this is his first race over fences. So interesting to see how he jumps. This is largely educational. Who knows what some of these horses might go on and achieve. We could just run through the declarations for this, which I'm sure you'd like to see. We've seen a few of the runners in the parade ring, but we haven't seen them all. We'll see the other ones down at the start. So there we go, big field. 3 is Bucks Billionaire, Will Biddick rides. 4 is Sillabrook, ridden by Zoe Hawkins, 7-year-old mare. 5 is Clayway, Anna Johnson. 6 is Cockspur Bala, ridden by Darren Andrews. 7 is Cornish Cavalier, who's ridden by Holly Ann Drown. Number 8, Daisy Yates, we had a look at. Charlie Sprake rides Daisy Yates, the best turned out. Josh Newman, probably still smarting from being virtually pulled off his horse in the previous race. He rides number 12, Firefly Lane here. 13 is Full Spays, Heidi Lewis, was trained by Warren Greatrex under rules. And then we go on to number 19, Liberty Rock, who is ridden by Darren Edwards. 19, Darren Edwards, who's okay after that fall in the previous race. Fly McIntyre rides number 24, Mount Oscar. Mykonos Amos, Fionn Summers. Number 28, Jake Baymont rides Onward Soldier. And then, I'm not used to so many runners, it's fantastic. 32 Star Walker, Jimmy Cole, and Vinnie Webster rides number 33, Wooden Woody. And now we've got some betting news from Simon, fresh from the betting. It looks like there are a few people there by the.
It's livened up, Bob. It's a very, very interesting betting race.
Yeah. Well, what about this early gamble?
Mount Oscar. Every single bookmaker has laid it at least one 3-figure bet all the way down the line. There's 12 bookmakers, so that's a lot of money's gone on that one.
So it was 7-4.
It was 6-4 chance now, but it drifted out to 5-2. There's been money for Liberty Rock. So one bookmaker's laid a 7-2, another's laid a 5-2. So then Mount Oscar drifted out, went out to 5-2, 2-1. In they came. They've gone all the way down the line. Every single bookmaker has laid at least one 3-figure bet on that. But there's also money for Clayway. A couple of Shrewdies, they say, 14-1 into around 8-1, and Onward Soldier, 8-1 into 5-1. So this is a very interesting race. There's a few obviously considered to have chances.
So Clayway.
Mount Oscar is the gamble.
So Clayway number 5 is. What price was that one?
That was 14. That's been nibbled, but by people whose opinion is respected.
Yeah.
It's the bookmaker told me that's laid that. So Liberty Rock, 3-figure bets around for Liberty Rock. Mount Oscar.
What price can you get Liberty Rock now?
You can get a 5. There's a lot of difference around because a lot of people haven't laid that one. They haven't all laid it. So the ones that haven't laid it are going to be a lot bigger than the ones that have laid it. It's organic bookmaking out there. Mount Oscar, everybody's laid it, so that's quite short. Nobody wants to lay it again. And Onward Soldier, Shrewdy money again. You know, people whose opinion is respected. 8-1 into 5-1. So the bookmakers that have got the two sticking out like sore thumbs are hoping there's chances.
It's a riveting race, isn't it?
It is. It's
really good. A bit of activity.
Yeah. It's one of those where you get a bit, you know.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited. And the bookmakers, I don't know whether they'll be, if Mount Oscar wins, they're all in trouble, aren't they?
Yes, but there's been money for other horses.
So
it
they
will
can
be a
balance
bad
their
loser
books.
in all their books because nobody wants, nobody can get out of it. But there's chances. It's not been backed.
It's when it's all one-way traffic. If there are a few others being backed, it's good for the.
Just Mount Oscar's backers have got deeper pockets than the others, maybe, because they're on everywhere. So.
Thank you. Very good. Very exciting indeed. I'm looking forward to this. And if we just want to see a little bit more from Simon, this is another one of his beautifully shot videos.
Well, there's 12 bookmakers here today. As you can see, they've already complained a bit that it's a bit quiet and a bit recreational. But they're all doing fair business. Hopefully the racing will be quite competitive. This next race certainly is. And with any luck, there'll be plenty of favourites, and they'll all go on skint. Now, I'm guessing this is a very happy team. They've just had a Skinner. Si, I bet you were desperate that jumped around safely.
We were a bit desperate that jumped around safely. I'm due a bit. Like, I've had a bit of a bad week. The missus decided to put a concrete butter outside the bedroom for a bit of luck, and I walked into it and broke my toe in 2 places. So, I'll come here today for a bit of revenge and I get a bit of good luck.
Well, you couldn't actually make that up. And did you see that race? Did
Yes,
you see
I
what
did.
happened?
No, I didn't quite see it. No, we were sort of working out the form for the maiden.
Biddick was desperately trying to stay on, and he pulled the other jockey off. So
That'll be about right.
it's one of those races where you've never seen anything like it.
No, you haven't, no.
So tell me, if he has a good day, is there a bonus?
Yes, I'm looking forward to an ice cream.
You won't get one here because there's no ice cream man.
That's why he offered it to me.
Once a bookmaker, always a bookmaker.
Cheers, Si.
Yeah, I could murder an ice cream, but let's keep our eye on this maiden. I'm really interested by this one, especially where the money's been going. Mount Oscar is the one that's been little. Well, it won't actually cripple the bookmakers, but because there are quite a lot of horses in the race, so therefore they can make a book that can pay its way. But we'll see what happens. So Mount Oscar number 24 has been well backed. Liberty Rock number 19 as well, and Onward Soldier, we heard Simon say, was back from I think 8-1 down to 5-1, owned by Jill Dennis. So plenty of interest, and the bookmakers will be screeching for one of the ones we haven't mentioned, something that maybe hasn't run before over fences, to win. And it's easily possible. I'd be interested to see this unlucky horse, Mykonos Amos, who should have won last time, but maybe it wasn't much of a race. I think this is probably much more of a competitive maiden, but he's obviously got a bit of ability. He's also got a little bit of a kink as well, I think. So they're circling. We'll see the flags race. Mark Dennis is way up on his hoist. Have fantastic view, and this is actually, he'll have to actually do a bit of work this time, spotting some of these, and it should be quite enjoyable. I think the starter's walking across. So I'll hand you over to Mark, because very shortly they'll be underway.
And the flag is up then, so we're under orders. One or two a little detached at the back. And he looks as though he's happy, so he's let them go then. They're away for this 14-runner maiden. Biggest field we've seen at a point for quite some time, and they stretch away from the start then. Liberty Rock and Bucks Billionaire, they lead the charge. Full Spares also up there in the front rank. Star Walker's the one that's jumped off slowly at the back under Jim Cole, and just a little detached by 4 or 5 lengths then from the main group as they now turn at the top end of the course. And as they do so, Full Spares and Liberty Rock, they are 1 and 2. There's a gap of about 2 lengths then back to Bucks Billionaire. Following these through comes Firefly Lane and Cockspur Bella. Onward Soldier is next. On the inside, Cornish Cavalier as they cross fence number 2. They'll all stream out over it, and Star Walker over at the back, so they've all safely negotiated the second fence, and race on down then to fences 3, 4 and 5 in the home straight. So Full Spares in the centre, Liberty Rock on the inside, Bucks Billionaire a little bit wider out. Sillabrook was the one that just nodded on landing. Zoe Hawkins did very well to sit tight there, almost lost control as they cross the next. Then Full Spares jumped that beautifully, and Sillabrook has in fact pulled their way up to dispute the lead now. Sillabrook in the blue colours on the outside. There's a line of 4 up front as they race past the judge, then 2 seconds ahead of them to race, and Bucks Billionaire now with the fractional advantage, and Liberty Rock was the one that took a bit of a chance with that, and we've lost Clayway a faller at that fence, and they now race right-handed across the bottom end of the course. Star Walker still the back marker, Bucks Billionaire up front, looks to be racing quite freely at the moment, as does Sillabrook, also on the outside. Full Spares is 3, and Bucks Billionaire back in 4. And another 2 lengths then back to Cockspur Bala. Firefly Lane is in behind this, then Mykonos Amos on the outside. Then is Mount Oscar, the favourite of Daisy Yates, as they cross the first and the back straight. In behind this, on the outside of Woody is Onward Soldier. Gap of about 8 lengths then back to Cornish Cavalier and Star Walker. This is the ditch next for the leaders, and they've sailed out over that okay. Full Spares there made a bit of a mistake on landing. Hardy Lewis did well to get back in the plate, but Liberty Rock now with the fractional advantage over Sillabrook on his outside. Full Spares around about 5 lengths off of them in second. Cockspur Ballot and Bucks Billionaire, they're 4 and 5. As they cross another plain fence, then Sillabrook was the one that seemed to plough through that. As the rest cross it now, Cornish Cavalier has been relegated to the back marker spot by Star Walker. So they've completed or almost completed their run up the back straight then. And now race right-handed, and it's Sillabrook with the lead of a length to Liberty Rock in second. Full Spares is 3. Bucks Billionaire is next. Cockspur Ballot's in behind this. And Firefly Lane's a little bit wider out as they cross. And there is Sillabrook there, a faller. Sillabrook falls on the outside when disputing the lead. And pleased to say, horse is up okay. And Zoe is up on her knees. So they race on down then to another plain fence before they come into the home straight. And Liberty Rock with Darren Edwards looks over his shoulder. He's going to see Daisy Yates is now looming large in the wing mirrors as they cross what will be the final fence in the circuit, or this next time round. And so Liberty Rock from Daisy Yates, who travels quite sweetly now under Charlie Sprake. On Mount Oscar now is taken closer order under Martin McFly as they bypass the next then. And race away now right-handed. So as they do so, Liberty Rock is now with a length and a half lead over Daisy Yates. Mount Oscar's 3, Cockspur Ballot is 4. And Mykonos Amos is next with Full Spares on his outside. And then we see Firefly Lane. Onward Soldier is next. And Bucks Billionaire, the back marker of the main group then, as they're still clear of Star Walker and Cornish Cavalier, who continues. So they're on up the run up the back straight then for the final time in this maiden race. So Liberty Rock then with the lead, takes the first one in the back, just nods slightly, pecks on landing there, Liberty Rock. Mount Oscar looming up now on the inside under Modern McIntyre. As they continue on then, Daisy Yates on his outside. This is a ditch, and all the leaders safely led over. In fact, they all are. As Star Walker takes it, Cornish Cavalier continues. So Liberty Rock then with the lead. Mount Oscar, though, right in his slipstream, and just sat there at the moment under Martin McIntyre. Daisy Yates is next and Firefly Lane is 4th as they cross the final one in the back straight then, and they're all over that safely. Star Walker continues at the back. So Liberty Rock then on the inside, races right-handed now with Mount Oscar right on his tail as they take the turn then. 2 lengths then back to Daisy Yates, another to Firefly Lane. In behind this, Mykonos Amos and Onward Soldier trying to improve from the back. So they're up in the turn, back towards us then, and this is 3 out. 3 out then, Liberty Rock out over safely. Mount Oscar now switched up the inside by Martin McIntyre, goes up to join the leader, and they've gone clear. 10 lengths clear then of Daisy Yates on the inside, and on the outside Firefly Lane. As they cross the next then, Liberty Rock with the advantage though. Mark Oscar trying to get on terms on the inside as they race on down then to the final fence. Liberty Rock by 2 lengths, jumps it well, gets away from it clear, and is 3-4 lengths clear now on the run to the lines. Going to score Liberty Rock by about 3.5 lengths to Mount Oscar. In behind this, Firefly Lane is clear then from fast finishing Mykonos Amos, then Daisy Yates. Bucks Billionaire is next on Onward Soldier, Full Spares, and then Star Walker.
Well, the gamble was foiled there because it's a terrific race, because making stealthy progress through the field, Mount Oscar, that was the gamble of the race. As Simon was telling us, had been back all the way down the the bookmakers line, 12 bookmakers here, and they'd all taken a bit of a hit, but also quite well supported. I think they probably were hoping Liberty Rock was going to win, and indeed he did under Darren Edwards. It looked as if the writing was on the wall. I'd say 4 from home, and then he just made then he started coming under the pump, Mount Oscar, and then Darren got some good jumps out of Liberty Rock. It's well worth having a look at the closing stages again. A really good race.
At the moment, under Martin McIntyre, Daisy Yates is next, and Firefly Lane is 4th as they cross the final one in the back straight then, and they're all over that safely. Star Walking continues at the back, so Liberty Rock then on the inside. Race is right-handed now with Mount Oscar right on his tail as they take the turn then. 2 lengths then back to Daisy Yates, another to Firefly Lane. In behind this, Mykonos Amos and Ormwood Soldier trying to improve from the back. So they're up in the turn, back towards us then, and this is 3 out. 3 out then, Liberty Rock out over safely. Mount Oscar now switched up the inside by Martin McIntyre, goes up to join the leader, and they've gone clear. 10 lengths clear then of Daisy Yates on the inside, and on the outside Firefly Lane. As they cross the next then, Liberty Rock with the advantage though. Mark Oscar trying to get on terms on the inside as they race on down then to the final fence. Liberty Rock by 2 lengths, jumps it well, gets away from it clear, and is 3-4 lengths clear now on the run to the lines. Going to score Liberty Rock by about 3.5 lengths to Mount Oscar. In behind this, Firefly Lane is clear then from fast finishing Mykonos Amos, then Daisy Yates. Bucks Billionaire is next on Onward Soldier, Full Spares, and then Star Walker.
So that was the maiden swashbuckling ride, as we come to expect from Darren Edwards on Liberty Rock, who looked to be in trouble, looked to be the leader on sufferance really, because Mount Oscar had carved his way through the field, seemed to be going very well, and suddenly he comes under the pump and the writing is on the wall. The third horse you would like to know was number 12, Firefly Lane. Firefly Lane, number 12, finished third with Josh Newman. And there are there's the jockey, as Josh Newman just walking away, probably still ruining that race that got away when he was dragged out of a saddle by Will Buick. Not intentionally, I think this Will was just, that would be a viral video, I reckon. I haven't seen anything like that before. It's just quite extraordinary. Will Biddick about to be unshipped, grabbed for something to hold on to, as one would, and it happened to be Josh Newman. So there's the presentation taking place. Sadly, next race we have a walkover, a dreaded walkover. Just one horse has been declared for the, it's annoying, the Simpkin Edwards Eggesford Champion Mixed Open race, feature race of the day, and number 6, 16 letters, is going to walk over, which is a shame. So there's a presentation just about to take place.
Horses away, please.
Whenever I'm in the back seat, she's like, my fucking double chin out. As long as I look good for my lads, it's fine. That was very nice.
For those of you who are looking for the ice cream van, is here. The ice cream's in the blue tent next to the white refreshment marquee. Thank you.
Can we do badminton last year? I did it like horses. Can we go badminton last year? Next year. I'm going on those. Where's Jim? Why isn't Jim here? I thought he was up. He is. No. Jim is Jim. Jim's Jim. Jim is underage. Jim's Dudley. We don't like Jim.
So right in for the park halfway. Our biggest race of the day looks like it. First is number 19. Second is number 24. Third is number 12. The race is won by 3 lengths. Distance between second and third is 20 lengths. Time of the race is 6:39. And the quickest race for horse number 26. Official results.
I told you.
Of our last
I said
race.
at the time. Oh, shut up. I don't need to hear your fucking mouth. Yeah, shut that mouth. My mum said that to me the other day. She was like, I did tell you. I was like, alright, Viv. Shut up. I decided in your argument. Yeah, I know you did. Viv's argument, I was like, behind your waist stuff. You said that. Put in my phone, I was like, yeah, Viv. You said that. Really hot fucking dancer. Go fucking. It's like William Farmer's.
Hello again. I've been joined by Chloe Emsley, who is here, had a brilliant season, not taking part today. You look as if you're all ready to go, but
we were, and then we decided that we were going to look after them today. Just
because you had Aldrich in this Open coming up now.
Yes.
No,
I had one
can
in
you
the
just get
restricted.
a little bit? Sorry.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I had one in the restricted for Ed, but we decided to not run it in the end.
I suppose. I mean, you know the horses best, and you know what can go wrong.
Yeah, exactly, and he's a really nice horse, and he's a very exciting horse, and we don't want to run him now and then risk a slight injury that puts him back for next season when we can look after him. And he might come back here again in 2 weeks if we get a bit of rain.
And we've had no rain, haven't we?
No, and it's a shame because this is such a lovely course, and they've done a really good job with the water and the best they can. And unfortunately, it will probably be fine, but we were taking a gamble when you don't want to take a gamble this
But
late
as
on.
we know, I mean, however much water you put on artificially, it never equates to the real thing from the sky above.
Definitely not. It doesn't get in as far because it's so dry underneath. So
And I've been through this season. I've been expecting being sort of to be towed out of the car park, but it's been dry really throughout the winter, isn't it?
I don't think we haven't been towed out once in our lorry, and we normally get towed out quite a lot because it's quite heavy.
Talk about the successes. Windtor's been a very good conveyance this year.
She's been very good. She ran at Weybridge to start off with and was third in a really good maiden. Mixed open, sorry.
So that was down at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and she was third to Sykes, who was second that day. And John Hurd won it. Singapore Saga, that was it. So it was a really nice race. And then
the third behind Sykes is good because Nicky Martin saw it.
She was only about 2 lengths behind Sykes in the end. She
Sykes
just ran all the way up the hill.
Good yardstick.
Definitely. And then she went under rules for Polly, and she won 2 at Exeter. I know she's a really tough mare, and she tries. And it was really nice for their owners as well, the Otters, because they absolutely adore her, and they had the best day out at Exeter as well. So.
I mean, it's the impression I get from everyone naturally, but I mean, apart from it's nice to win, but people just adore their horses, don't they?
Definitely. I mean, you can't be in the sport if you don't. Everyone loves horses.
Yeah.
And you're in it because you love them. And Wintour is especially because she is really tough. She's not the biggest, but she's so tough. And that's what makes the owners love her even more because she always tries so hard. So, no, the owners have just been great, and Wintour's great. And, she ran really well at Cheltenham as well, finished third. So a really good mare that had won, I think, 4 up north for Alice Stevens.
So she's a hero.
No, she is. No, and she...
and how old is she? So
She's I think she might be 10 now.
So
I'll definitely still
there's more to
come
come
back next season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And is pointing very much in your blood?
No, my
Not?
dad sells cars for a living, and my mum used to work at Waitrose and also sell cars and a taxi driver. So no.
So I don't think there's much racing in there. So how did it all start then?
Well, I started riding at the riding school when I was about 6, and then went on from there.
So your parents encouraged that, obviously.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they were we brought my own horse when I was about 12. Just as a 4-year-old, I sort of messed around on that and fell off many times and sort of carried on from there. And then we went to Newmarket quite a lot, the racetrack. And then, I really liked it. And then I went to Doncaster Racing School and then went from there, really.
And it's a very good school, that, isn't it?
Definitely. At the age of 16, you couldn't ask for any more. It was the best 12 weeks of my life. It was so good.
So what do you do now to earn a living?
Work for Ed and Polly during the week, 4 days a week, and then I'm at Ben
for Ed
Clark.
Walker and Polly Gundry, yeah.
And then I'm at Ben Clark's twice a week, who now trains on the rules, who was pointing.
He had a runner at, I don't know if it ran actually, at Newton Abbot last week, I think.
Yeah, Little Gesture.
Yeah, exactly.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she ran really well.
So that's a nice way to spend your life, really, with horses.
It is, and we train our own, like Stuart trains his own pointers in the afternoon, and so I help him with them in the afternoon as well. So.
What a great life. I mean, it's quite a tough life. I mean, you've got to...
It is, but it's an enjoyable life, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, I mean, the general feeling I get from coming to... the thrill I get from coming to a point-to-point course that I'd never been to before is just for general enthusiasm. I mean, the crowd love it. They come for a day out. Children, animals, everything.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere at a point-to-point.
Did you go point-to-pointing as a child or not really?
No. To be honest, I didn't really know it existed. We used to do all the pony club shows, and I did a little bit of team chasing, pony club eventing, but that was as far as it went, because my family aren't horsey at all. They are now. Like my stepdad and my mum love coming racing. They're not here this weekend, but they always come pointing.
So they're mad keen. So you've driven their enthusiasm.
Much, yeah.
How amazing.
Yeah, and they literally live near Fontwell Racecourse, so they're always at Fontwell when the racing's on.
That's fantastic. You can go along the coast of Plumpton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're not too far away from Goodwood either, so... Yeah, no, it's very good.
And what's yours? I mean, the overall aim is just to carry on as you are at the moment. Have you got any sort of grand plans or anything?
Let's ride as many winners as I can. Hopefully, we might get Devon and Cornwall lady champion again. So,
so how many winners have you ridden in all?
5 this season, then 2 under rules. So it's been my best season because I've had 7, but I had 6 point winners last season. So I'd like another one to make that total.
And is riding a winner under rules a terrific thrill?
Oh, definitely. I rode one in a hunter chase at Stratford with Ben Clark. I was technically second, but it got overturned because the weight was wrong for the winner. But that was still a winner, and I was delighted by that.
But it wasn't like passing the post first.
Yeah, but passing the post in front, especially on Wintour, because we love her at home. Like she's so cool, and then to win on her as well, it was such a good day.
It must be amazing.
It's an amazing thrill. Like the adrenaline is just incredible.
I can only imagine. I can hardly ride a bicycle, but I can just imagine the thrill of coming to the last with a winning chance.
Oh, exactly.
When you won, were you in the lead at the last, or did you? Was it close?
Yeah, no, I was in the lead at the last the first time, and then I think the second time I was up sides, and she just tougher than everything else, and just stayed on past everything at the line.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming along,
no problem
Chloe,
at all.
and we'll keep a lookout for you. I'm sure you'll ride plenty more winners.
Yeah, hopefully we'll keep kicking anyway.
And send our best to Wintour. I hope she has she'll have a bit of time off during the summer, obviously.
Yeah, no, she will. She's still in at the moment. I think if we had a monsoon, she possibly could go to Stratford, I think, but don't hold me to that because I don't think she will because it's so dry now.
I don't think we're going to get a monsoon.
No, unfortunately not.
No.
But no, she'll have a nice summer break at home and then come back for next season.
Fresh as paint next year.
Exactly.
Thank you, Chloe, very
no
much.
Problem. Thank you very much.
Great to meet you. Thank you. Chloe Emsley, who's done so well, and Wintour is certainly the hero of the family. There's nothing happening behind me, but Simon Knott, he makes more films than Spielberg these days, and here's another one of these little mini movies.
Yes, Simon. Right, that last race, Joe, everybody laid the second, and you got away with it, didn't you guys?
No, we laid 2 horses, and they came on first and second.
Right, you laid the winner was the winner wasn't as bad as the second.
No, it wasn't as bad as the second. No.
But did you win on the winner?
Peanuts.
We won about 200. He was overs for 200 quid. He's just talking a load of rubbish.
It's peanuts. We won peanuts, Simon.
And they're never happy bookmakers, are they? There's a massive gamble foiled. He's copped on the race, and look at him, look.
Yeah. Well.
His children won't eat tonight.
No, he used to be a good-looking man, didn't he?
He did. It's a long time ago.
Well, at least they made a profit. A man who's had a profitable afternoon. He's had an up and down afternoon. Darren Edwards. I always look forward to. Oh, that's very kind of you to bring that along.
Well, no, yeah,
you deserve that, don't you, really?
Wash down your burger there, Robert.
It's been. I'm looking at that. It's sort of gradually congealing on the grass. Liberty Rock. That was a fascinating race because the good thing, the one that loomed up behind you, what was that called? Mount Oscar.
Yes, yeah.
You obviously haven't seen, but it was sort of, making stealthy progress. Looked to be going best, but you just kept on pulling out a bit more.
Yeah, I really like Liberty Rock. He's a lovely horse. He's just, well, to be honest, he pulled my arms out there for 2.5 miles, and I sort of pride myself on being quite strong, but in actual fact he really strained the reins for me, which is testament really to how good he must be, because he actually still quickened up coming down over the last two and won well.
So it's early days for him, so he could be quite exciting for the future.
Yeah, I think he could be. He's been quite fragile to train because we ran him in what must have been the first COVID year, so in early 20 or late 2019, early 20s, and then racing obviously shut down. So we ran him in a bumper at Barbary Castle. He finished staying on 4th, never nearer, beaten about 2 lengths. And then with racing shutting down, he went over hurdles, and he ran a really nice race around Exeter in a novice hurdle, and he sort of, the favourite kicked clear up the home straight at Exeter, and the jockey riding Liberty Rock, he sort of rode him to win the race. So he chased the favourite, chased the winner, and then actually ended up dropping back and finishing 5th. But the run was far better than what the form figure suggested. And then, but what he actually did is he got a small bit of birch up into his tendon sheath, and Dean nearly lost him because it sort of infected, I think, the tendon sheath, and they had to sort of flush it out. But he got infected and he nearly died. So
really,
so then he had a long time off, and we brought him back at Charlton Hawthorne in, I think, March, and he ran a really nice race. Again, he was keen. I let him go to the front 2 out, and actually the horse that came and won the race, Knock Moylan, has won twice since and finished 3rd in a hunter chase. So the form is rock solid.
Very good, very exciting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was a sad race with transition period a bit earlier on in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was a great shame because he was a horse we really liked as well. He was a sort of a 6-year-old, but going on 4, as in he's mentally immature, and that's, I think, unfortunately, that's just got the better of him in the end. Although we've got plenty of runs, his jumping has always been a little bit suspect, and I just think in this faster race today, unfortunately, he just took one chance too many and has paid the ultimate penalty. So
very sad.
It's a great shame for John and Sonia who own him, and obviously for Dean and the yard and everyone associated with it, because it's always the best ones. It's always the best ones.
It is. It's a cliche, but it's true though, isn't it? It does seem to happen like that.
Yeah.
What an eventful race that was in the end, though.
Yeah, I obviously missed all the sort of drama that happened.
I'd like to have been a fly on the wall in your changing room.
Yeah. Well, Will said I think his horse made a mistake and
he was just
he
going
sort of
out
shot
to the
off
left.
to the side, and I think sort of leant onto Josh's horse, and in the end they both ended up coming off. But obviously I didn't see that. So.
No, we saw it a few times. I'm sure we'll see it again. It was quite spectacular, I think. But if you're coming off, you sort of, if anything was, if anything was there, you'd grab for it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't do it
intentionally.
It's natural instinct to try and save yourself, whatever situation you're in. Whether that's putting your hand down when you're hitting the floor, sometimes obviously you try not to, but it can happen, or whether if there's something to leverage yourself against or push against, then obviously it's just part and parcel of racing.
We've seen you here in front of the winner's mic, as we like to call it. We call it many other things as well, but quite a lot during the season. It's been a good year for you.
Bar a couple of sort of, we had an unfortunate incident with one last week, and then obviously lost the horse today. But yeah, no, on the whole, it's been a good year, and Dean's went through Dean Summersby, who's my main supporter. The yard went through a sort of quiet sort of probably 6 or 8 weeks where the horses weren't running great, but they're really back on song now, and I think we've probably had 7 winners out of the last sort of dozen or 14.
And are you going to be the Devon and Cornwall champ? Are you in there? I mean, you're there.
Yeah. Will and I normally have a good tussle, so it's
Does that mean
good
a lot?
fun. Well, it's nice to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, it's nice to win. I think at the end of the day,
I mean, you're a realist, aren't you? Really, you've got to be, I suppose, in this game.
I'm a realist. At the end of the day, we're not going to run horses where they shouldn't be running just for the sake of helping me out. At the end of the day, we'll run the horses where it's right for them, and hopefully, if that allows me to have some more winners, then great. If it doesn't, so be it.
And virtually everyone I've been talking to have been saying, just ruining, but it's been such a dry spring and winter.
Yeah, I think so. It's it's just, unfortunately, that's the British weather, but fair play to all the courses and like the Herd family who
I had walked a bit of the course here. It seems to be in great shape, really.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. They do a really good job here. They take it very seriously, and there's consistent ground the whole way. Yes, it's just slightly quicker than good, but lovely sort of safe ground.
Well, it's been a joy talking to you during the.
Yeah, no, it's lovely to see you down here, Bob, and thank you again to all the live streaming team and who get a free USB and with the race, and the streaming's been really great. So that's for you and Cornelius and everyone else that's played a part, Rita and Frank and Mike's and whoever sits in that address system there.
Yeah, I mean a fantastic team in there as well.
Yeah.
You ought to do sort of an Oscar presentation. It sounds very good.
Well, no, I've done live streaming. I've done because it's it was Dingley yesterday, and I stood in for them up there with Jonathan Neeson, in fact.
Oh well,
he's a bit of a pro, isn't he?
He knows everything about it, doesn't he?
Far more than me.
It's good to have a pro doing it, isn't it? But he does. I mean, he lives and breathes point to point, and he knows a lot of.
As you're beginning to do.
I've always liked it. I don't, this is sort of a new territory for me, but I think it's just it's the essence of the whole sport, quite honestly.
Yeah. No, it really is. It's the grassroots, and it's important that we all keep supporting it, and the BHA recognise the role that the pointing plays in bringing on jockeys and horses. Like we've seen some lovely young horses today, and some young riders that will go on and hopefully do well in the future. So
yeah, there are lots of good young riders coming on. Where do you think pointing is at the moment? Do you think it's sort of struggling, or is it in a good place?
There's no hiding the fact it's in a sort of tough place in terms of the numbers of participants, horse numbers, rider numbers.
Horse numbers are down, are they?
Horse numbers are down. I think we're sort of getting up towards sort of 1,700 that are registered with hunter certificates. But then,
is that cost or?
I think there's a bit of cost. I think because it costs as much to train a pointer as it does a national hunter horse or a flat horse, really.
And the returns are much smaller.
Yeah, the returns are much less. I think what I would call there's less and less old money. Long-standing supporters of pointing that accept you're never going to make a return from your money, and therefore, but they continue to support it. And there is more new money coming in, but people that have gone out and earned their money, they want to see a return from it as well. So there's probably less new money coming into pointing as what there is old money leaving. So
I'm sure everything goes through in cycles, and I hope and keep my fingers crossed that pointing will come through, because we need it, and it creates such a wonderful day out for people who have no real interest in they just like seeing horses and racing, and it's a day out in the country.
It's very pure. It's it's young horses progressing and young riders coming through. You accept that not everyone's a sort of next AP McCoy, Brian Hughes or whoever it may be, but people do make mistakes in pointing, but it's all part of the learning curve, and that's what pointing is all about. So.
Fantastic, Darren, and very good to talk to you, and may luck continue with you. Thank you very much,
Bob.
Thank you. Darren Edwards, great to talk to him, and he's been riding plenty of winners. Him and Will Biddick have been riding loads of winners. The one and only runner, he'll definitely be the best turned out. It's such a pity in our feature race of a day. Sorry to turn my back to you viewers. The Simkin Edwards Eggesford Champion Mixed Open race. The one runner. We'll just check that one runner. Adjusting my new paper hat. And there is, it's rather a sad picture there. Another winner for Will Biddick. He's going to be riding 16 letters, who will walk over our next race in the very near future. So that's coming up, and we'll give you more news of our remaining races as and when.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to lockdown. Unfortunately, we're going to walk over this race. A lot of the bookmakers are just going for a beer or something, but not Mike Smith. Look at all the work that Mike Smith puts in. Mike, I mean, that's a labour of love, isn't it?
It certainly is. Once Monday morning comes, I don't speak to the wife, the kids, I get on me work for the weekend, so.
There you go, look, there's not many bookmakers who put that much work into it. That's why he tips all the winners up to me, innit, Mike?
Try to, Simon, try to.
Good man. Right, we knew that the last race there was a massive gamble on the runner-up. But Harvey, you've absolutely ruined poor old Simon James's day. How did you manage that?
Well, we took a bit of 7-2 with him. Told Michael not to lay him because I thought it was the best horse in the yard.
So you've foiled a massive gamble as well, eh?
Well, not me, the horse and the jockey.
Well, no, but you backed the winner.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Simon James there is the only bookmaker not to have won on the race. Oh.
I think Mr. Pittard swerved it and Mr. Smith swerved it.
Are you celebrating now, Harvey?
I certainly am.
Good man.
Cheers.
To clear the fourth seat, we now have number 6 coming out for the walkover.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our fourth race, the Simpkins Edwards Eggesford Champion Mixed Open race, and unfortunately it is a walkover, which means that it's just the one runner, and he's going to go down to round about the final fence, although I see he's gone a bit further, but basically all he's got to do is gallop past the judge here at the finishing line to qualify a win, and the win will count. It'll be Will Biddick's 46th winner of the campaign, and it'll be the 6th win for 16 letters this season. A prolific winner, a winner at Wincanton, a good hunter chase up there around about a month ago, and has won 4 others apart from that, and this will be win number 6 for the season. And like I said, Will Biddick's 46th of this season. He's leading the men's championship by around about 5 winners from James King, and he's also leading, him and Darren Edwards are vying for the Devon and Cornwall championship between them, both on around about the 90-point mark. So here is 16 letters now, and he's going to score his 6th win of the season. And well done to them, they will count.
Well, that was the excitement of the walkover. 16 letters has walked over in the Open, and Holly Pennell, is it Pennell or Pennells? Pennell. And you had your first ride yesterday.
Yeah.
How exciting, and you finished 3rd.
Yeah.
And the name of your horse was Steel Brush.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the experience. What was that like?
Oh, it was brilliant. I was lucky enough to ride for Mum, so I got given Steel Brush this season from Morris and Diana Scott, which was really lucky. And yeah, Mum's been training him, and it was brilliant. He jumped like a stag.
Generous? He jumped really well.
Lovely. Yeah, I couldn't have had a better ride.
But just watching on TV, you don't appreciate the speed you jump these fences.
Yeah.
It's very there's no sort of stopping.
Feeling like it. No, he took off and he went on in front, and he was happy, so I let him be, and yeah, he flew around there for me. It was absolutely brilliant.
And you're riding later on this afternoon?
Yeah, in the last race on a Memorial Arte for my boss, Sarah Fuchs.
And
So
what sort
that's
of ride is he?
He's brilliant. Again, exactly the same, typical schoolmaster. So fingers crossed, I might be in with a chance.
So having your first ride must have been. Were you quite? I mean, did you have a sort of an anxious night's sleep at all?
Yeah, I was very nervous. But once I got on and was over the first, it was all right after that. I was in the zone.
And where are you based?
Down in Bishop's Nympton, South Moulton. So
that's very much sort of point to point in country, isn't it?
Yeah.
And racing is very much in your family.
Yeah, Grandad, he's been training and he used to ride in races, and then Mum rode in a few, and she's always worked in racing, so I didn't have a choice.
So it was always going to happen.
Yeah.
And were you mad keen from a very early age?
Yeah, I've always wanted to ride, and luckily enough I got.
Because sometimes I speak to people and they take it up in quite late on in life.
Yeah, no, I've always wanted to, and just been very, very lucky.
And what would be the aim? I mean, to obviously ride more and more. Would you like to ride under rules?
I would. I'll see how it goes. If I do well, then I'd love to. Yeah.
If you have the horse, the thing is to have the horse, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I've got 2 lovely horses, so fingers crossed.
And did you go to any of the racing schools?
Yeah, so I went to the British Racing School 2 years ago after
at
I
Newmarket.
left. Yeah, after I left school, and I did a 6-week course there, and then I worked for Nick Williams after that.
Did you?
And I've now just moved to Sarah's and been lucky enough to have the ride on.
So that's quite a lot of experience. Yeah. I mean, the riding school I've seen that in operation, and it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant up there. You learn a lot.
So you have a 6-week course?
Yeah, I had a 6-week course because I'd already worked in a racing yard, but even so I learned so much up there.
Well, long may it continue. I hope we'll watch out for you and hope you do very well later on this afternoon. But well done.
Thank you.
Finishing third. Very exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
You.
Thank you, Holly. Exciting. Holly Pennell, who rides a bit later on. And I'll give you the runners for I haven't actually jotted them down quite soon, so we might just have a look at the crowd milling around. There's the winner. Just walked over. 16 letters. Another winner for Will Biddick. So, So we'll be back with more news very shortly on our next race, where we've got 4 runners. So let me give you the runners. There they are for the C&R penultimate race on the 6th race card today, the C&R Construction Restricted Race. There are 4 runners. Number 3 is Highland Legend, who's a half-sister to a good horse that Harry Fry trained, actually, called Highland Retreat, who won 7 races. And she is ridden by Vinnie Webster. Number 5 is Jet Me Out of Here, who is ridden by Darren Edwards, who we had a good chat to a bit earlier on. Number 8 is Piley Court, who is a half-brother to quite a prolific winner of a Dan Skelton train called Go Steady. Won 6 times for Dan Skelton, ridden by Ella Herbison. And number 9 is Quintin's Man, who's quite a prolific, out of a prolific point-to-point winner, Roll on Rose, who won 7 times point-to-points, and Darren Andrews rides Quintin's Man. So, interesting race, 4 runners, So it's competitive, that's the main thing. We've seen some good racing this afternoon. Pity about that walkover, but we're looking forward to our next race, and we'll bring you some betting news as soon as it comes through with Simon.
If you didn't get the numbers for this race, as you also for Sunday, the CNR construction is accepted race. The numbers are 3, 5, 8, and 9. 3, 5, 8, and 9. Declaration may close for race 6. The rule will slightly delay to the next race due to Brooks' chair. Of the Simpson Edwards Award to the winner, number 6, 16 meters. Well done.
I've been joined by Darren Andrews, who's here, fresh, probably still on cloud 9 from Solomon Gray's win at Cheltenham the other day.
Yeah, well, can I say, he was awesome around there. He jumped and he travelled, and it's such a nice place when you've got one that does that. He did it very easily, to be fair to him, so it worked out well.
It's the big night, isn't it, for Hunter Chase? Is that Hunter Chase night? I mean, it's the meeting where everyone wants to ride a winner. How many chances have you had before there?
So I've ridden there. I had 4 the season last season, a second, a third, and fourth, and a fifth, I think. So I was quite happy with that. I thought I had a good night. But a winner was even better.
Well, probably it's quite good in a way, but if it was that easy and you rode a winner every time, it would be, it means something to ride a winner.
Yeah, it does. In my first one round there, we got held in the traffic on the M5 on the way there, and I only got there at 5:15, and I was riding at 10 to 6. And
what's the time limit?
It's 20 minutes before race, and it was quite tight, and it was a bit of a stressful journey. And then I had 3 rides prior to Solomon Gray, and they all sort of pulled up and didn't really fire, and then I sort of was thinking, this is a long journey.
And did you go there with good hopes of a big run from Solomon Gray?
I did, to be fair. I sort of spoke to Sarah Dawson, the owner, in the week, and she said they were planning on having James King on him because he obviously won on him at Ludlow the time before, but James had to commit to Cousin Pascal. So she said, could you ride and book me up, sort of thing, and it worked out well. I've never sat on him. I've only watched his videos. And
you'd never sat on him before?
No. I was meant to ride him.
Which sometimes can be quite a good thing, can't it?
It can. I was meant to ride him at Ludlow a few runs back, but I got to the racecourse and they literally declared him a non-runner when I got there because the ground went quite soft, and he relishes good ground.
Because sometimes if you've ridden a horse before, you get sort of preconceived ideas. You know the horse too well.
Yeah.
If you don't know any of his, you obviously knew his form.
Yeah, I knew what he was like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So very good.
And just talk us through the final 2 fences. How did that go?
Well, they said to me all he does is stay. 2-4 is probably quite short for him, but I suppose you look at Cheltenham, that it is a more of a test than 2-4 really. So they said make plenty of use of him if you can, be handy, and we sort of jumped off 5th or 6th. And he jumped his way to the front after 4 or 5, and I thought, okay, that's fine, we'll stay here. And he jumped and travelled at the top of the hill. I sort of, in the back of my mind, went, hang on, Darren, just hang on. It's a long way home. You've been in those situations where you get to the top of the hill.
You were tempted to...
Yeah, you just get that little rush of blood and think, I'll go now. But yeah, I sort of half counted to 10, and then jumped to the one at the top of the hill there and thought, right, we'll make the best of our way home now. And I got challenged turning in, but to be fair, once I sort of got stuck into him, he quickened away and winged the last and went.
And coming up that hill,
yeah,
must have been a great feeling.
It was a great feeling, to be fair. It was almost like a bit of a pressure release, I suppose, because you go there with high hopes some years and they don't perform because it is a different ball game. It's a Gold Cups for us pointers at the end of the day, and a lot.
And everyone's dream is to ride a winner at Cheltenham, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's been mine since I started doing this, and to have one there, it's incredible.
Now you want another.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he hopefully he'll go to Stratford now for the what was the Horse and Hound Cup.
Yeah, that's still a big night, though, isn't it?
Yeah, very big night. And to be fair, it's 3, was it 3-3, 3-4? Big step up in trip from 2-4, but I think he'll get it on a flat track and hoping for a big run. And if he does get it and he seems to handle it, they were on about being tempted maybe to campaign him for the Fox Hunters next year.
Is he the kind of horse that would handle Stratford? Because usually it's those on the front end that end up winning, really. It's very much a front runner's track.
I think he'll handle it because it's a flat track. He's a strong traveller and he jumps, and I think that's what won in the race at Cheltenham, and I'd like to think he'd be going there. He's not going to run between Cheltenham and then, and he'll go there a fresh horse, and fingers crossed he does the business again.
And how's this point-to-point season gone?
It's been good for me, to be fair. I went to Challesley yesterday actually and rode a double for Phil Rowley, so that was nice. My first 2 rides for Phil, pointing, 2 winners, so yeah, I can't really complain about that.
No, double is great.
So that's 13 pointing this season, and I've had 2 under rules hunter chasing.
I call that a pretty...
Not my best season pointing. I've had 16, but it's near. It's there. I've ridden two.
It's very, very competitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very competitive.
Yeah, very. And to win 2 hunter chases on the likes of Salvatore and Solomon Gray at Cheltenham, it just caps off a good year really, and I can't complain.
And this track here, I haven't been here before, but it looks a good galloping course.
It is a good galloping course. You turn down to jump those 3 fences downhill, and it's surprising. You think, oh, it's an easy finish, but they get racing a long way out. So it's a fair climb up the back here, and you either got a lot of horse underneath you turning in, or you haven't got much really. So.
Well, great. I mean, fantastic. What a great year. You can dine out on that for life now, can't you? You're a Cheltenham winner.
Exactly. To be fair, I was speaking to Alice Stevens at Challenger yesterday, and she rode the Foodaloon in the mares and won, and we were sort of sat there, and I said, "Has it sunk in yet?" And she went, "I don't feel like it has," and I said exactly the same. But I suppose it's that sort of evening meeting where you're up there, you have a small glass of champagne with the owners, and then you go home. For me, it's 2.5 hours away, so I was in the car and home. Home by 11:30, and you sort of then you showered in bed. And
it's quite a long journey from actually passing the post, and you've got to go up the walkway through.
It takes a long time to get back in.
That must have been great, though.
It was, to be fair, and there was a good crowd. It was very well supported for the night, actually, because I've been there a few times, and obviously with COVID the last few times it's been very quiet. But actually there was a good roar for
and if
for
you
a small
think of all the great horses that have made that same journey as you, it must be
exactly,
amazing.
And some of the great horses that have galloped around that course as well. It's incredible, really.
Could you hear the crowd?
I couldn't hear the crowd on him, but I did. I pulled up actually at the top of the hill there, going out on the final circuit, and stood there and watched the finish of the mixed open, and there was me, Tommy O'Brien and Ben Sutton there, and you could hear it then. When you were stood there, you could hear it.
Well, well done. Very nice to talk to you, lovely. And good luck in the future.
Thank
Fantastic.
you. Lovely. Cheers.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Very much indeed. Darren Andrews giving us the lowdown on that fantastic win. Solomon Gray winning at Cheltenham. That's all very exciting indeed. Now we've got the horse. Rita's coming up. Chad Beaumont is coming up. Another with John Hurd. The Hurds seem to rule this place, don't they? Chad, step forward. And you're riding Eric III.
Yes. Yeah, I got him in the last year.
Oh, he's he's 13 now, but he's still got. He's still capable of winning, isn't he?
Still runs very well. Yeah, he won last time at Trebedanon on the 18th of April. My brother rode him that day actually, which is ideal for Jake.
Is there a lot of competition between you brothers?
A lot of support between us.
Yeah.
There's a bit of rivalry as well, but
you need a bit of rivalry, don't you? Really?
Yeah, definitely.
I think these novice rider events are a really good idea, aren't they?
They are very good. Yeah. They're ideal for the likes of me that are just starting out.
So how many rides have you had?
Quite
a few.
About 20, I'd say.
And winners?
Just one.
Just the one. Where did that happen?
Fleet Park. It was the week before Trebedanon.
But you always remember. I mean, you'll remember that forever. I mean, we're just talking to Darren Andrews, riding a winner on that Hunter Chase night at Cheltenham.
Yeah.
He was very emotional. It just means a lot, and
it does.
You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And was being a rider always your?
Yeah.
It's in the blood, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, Jake. Well, I started off pony racing. Jake done quite a lot of pony racing as well, and then sort of just progressed from there.
But pony racing, they take no prisoners in pony races, do they?
No.
But that must be a great grounding.
It is, yeah. It is very good.
For both jump jockeys and a lot of the flat jockeys have come through the pony racing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can. Yeah,
young Harry Davies, who's doing very well now. He's only, but it's where you learn.
It is, yeah. You do learn a lot there. It's good for getting your style and working out how you like to ride.
So what I mean, Eric III would have. I don't know. Do you know how many have been declared in the lot? Four. So that's
4,
not.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a fair old chance.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Yeah.
Oh, he's very consistent.
He runs very well. Yeah.
Is he an easy, nice?
I've never ridden him before.
I think that's a good idea because you've got no preconceived ideas.
No. But
he's quite a good horse.
I've schooled him at home. He schools very well. He's spot on with the schooling. And I've spoken to Darren Andrews and Jake, who have both ridden him in
Yeah.
races, and they've both got on very well with him, and I just hopefully ride to their instructions and see what I can make from him.
Great. Well, we'll look out for you and wish you all the best of luck.
Brilliant.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you very
indeed.
much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. I'll give you my, there we are, my shaking hand.
you.
Thank you very much. Nice to speak to you. Chad Beaumont, who rides Eric III in the next race. And Julie is leading up Eric III now, has retired a great herd horse, Navan Man, as a hacker and cross-country horse. This is Rita giving me the latest news. It's fantastic. It's sort of like a international news service. But let's look at some of the runners in this race. That's Jet Me Out of Here just walking behind me. We get some betting from Simon, I hope, quite soon, wherever he's got to. But Jet Me Out of Here, he's ridden by Darren Edwards. Seems to be a front runner. He's won his last 2 starts. He won a members. Well, there's been a few matches this very dry spring, and he was left clear at the 15th, and he won a members match. He won a Dunsmore maiden by 4 lengths. So a capable horse. And Jet Me Out of Here, ridden by the excellent Darren Edwards. What a joy it is to talk to him, trained of course by Dean Summersby, who's well, they lost the horse this afternoon, sadly, a bit earlier, transition period, but by and large it's been a good year. So that's number 5, Jet Me Out of Here. As we look at 1 or 2 of the other ones, Hyde and Legend, number 3 is for top one. There's number 8. That's Piley Court, who is a half brother to a prolific winner with the Skeltons called Go Steady. And Piley Court is out of a mare called Piley Lady, who was quite successful for Jeremy Scott, won a couple of races. And it was with Robert Pudd, and was previously trained by Chris Barber, and Ella Herbison is the jockey on board. And Piley Court comes here on the back of a 20-length win of a maiden last time, so comes here with good chances. So that's number 8. We've seen numbers 5 and 8. Haven't heard any news of the best turned out as yet. And as we heard from Chad in the previous race, there are 4 runners in the last race, of which Eric III is one of them. And I think Nicky Steele will be another one, because we spoke to Anna Highlands a bit earlier on. There's number 9, Quintin's Man, who's trained by John Hurd, the remarkable John Hurd, and ridden by Darren Andrews. The one question, bad interview, I didn't ask him the chances of Quintin's Man, comes here in good form actually. Roland Rose, Quintin's Man is out of Roland Rose, who won 7 times in point of points between 2007 and 2011. So there are winners in the family. Won a maiden at Kilworthy and was beaten by Honest Opinion in a restricted at Fleet last time out, and I'd have thought here we'd have pretty good chances. Just seen Rita go scuttling off for more news, reading off her notice board. But and the only one we haven't seen now is number 3, which we will see. There is number 9 just going by. We've had some good racing this afternoon, apart from the walkover, of course, but generally we've had some really good sport, I think. This is number 3, Highland Legend, who is a half-sister, 6-year-old mare by Midnight Legend, half-sister to a horse called Highland Retreat, who was a prolific winner, won 7 times for Harry Fry. Vinnie Webster rides. Highland Legend, I hear, is the best turned out, number 3, led up by Rachel Ware. Rachel Ware leads up number 3. She's just hidden behind the horse and obviously knows her. There she is. There's Rachel. Rachel Ware leading up number 3, Highland Legend, who will be ridden by Vinnie Webster, about to get the leg up on the 6-year-old mare. And I'm hoping Simon returns quite soon, because I'd be very interested to see how the betting goes.
The winner of the best turnout is number 3, Highland Legend.
Runners just leaving the parade ring. So we've got, just to run through them, Vinnie Webster rides Highland Legend. We'll hear them called down by Mark Dennis in a moment. Jet Me Out of Here, Darren Edwards. Ella Herbison on Pidey Court, and Darren Andrews on Quintin's Man. And number 3, Highland Legend of Charlotte Rose. It's a mixed yard. They get involved in high-level eventing, very high-level eventing, and point-to-points. And Rachel Ware, who we saw leading up Highland Legend, is the head girl there, doing a grand job. Here comes Simon. I knew we heard the cry there. And tell us more, Simon. Welcome back.
Thank you. This is another race which is quite interesting.
Money floating around?
It's quite tight. I mean, Highland Legend's a 4-to-1 chance, but bookmaker Mike Smith called me over and showed me his book. He's got it losing 1,700 quid, the only loser. He doesn't fancy it, so he's sticking his neck out.
So that's his choice.
He's decided not to hedge it. He can hedge it, but he's not going to. Okay. Jet Me Out of Here is the 5-to-4 favourite. Piley Court's 2-to-1, and Quintin's Man's 11-to-4. So it's a proper race again. The Shrewdies, none of them are going to commit to anything. You know, they're just making books. So I'm at a bet today. None of them have pointed one out to me.
Great to have no odds on, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Competitive. 4 runners, but very competitive.
I like it when a bookmaker takes a view, like, who was it you said who did
Mike
that?
Smith.
Yeah.
I should be pointing the microphone under his chin should it win.
You'll be.
I'll be there.
Soaking up the tears.
Yeah.
It's part of the game, isn't it?
Yes.
So 5-to-4, Jet Me Out of Here is the current favourite.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much, Simon. Still one more race to come after this. This is race 5. We can just remind you of the forerunners here. It's nice to see them in print on our excellent graphics we have. Number 3, Highland Legend, Vinnie Webster, trained by Charlotte Rowe. We've got 5, Jet Me Out of Here, who's a 5. I'll give you the betting. Highland Legend is 4-to-1. The bookmaker will be sobbing if the outsider of the 4 wins. Jet Me Out of Here is currently 5-to-4 favourite Darren Edwards, bidding for a double, having had a winner of two races ago, trained by Dean Summersby. Number 8, Pidey Court, is a 2-to-1 shot, ridden by Ella Herbison. And number 9, Quintin's Man, 11-to-4, we heard, for Darren Andrews, who's been in great form, especially after that winner on Hunter Chase Night at Cheltenham just the other day. So the 4 runners down at the start in readiness for this C&R Construction restricted race, and it won't be that long before they're underway. Just looking at my watch, it's just gone past post time. So the next voice you'll hear will be, you can see Mark Dennis up on his hoist with his binoculars, trained on the 4 runners. So the next voice you'll hear when they've been checked over will be his, because it won't be that long before they're underway.
So looks as though we're almost ready. Starter now in position and raises the flag then. So we're under orders. Runners just turn in to face up to the starter. Flag goes down and we're away. So they jump away from the start then for this 4-runner restricted, and Jet Me Out of Here. Jet's out of the start pretty smartly and takes on the first of their 18 fences. Rest stream out over. Highland Legend in second, and Piley Court just shows in third from Quentin's Man, the back marker, but they're more or less in Indian file then as they leave the back straight behind them then and begin the turn around the top end of the course for the first time. So Jet Me Out of Here, a winner at Dunsmore, won his maiden at Dunsmore, and followed up with a win in the restricted at Axevale there 2 weeks ago. So he face up to fence number 2 then, and the leader safely out over, as are the remaining 3, and race down towards us then. Order pretty much the same as flag 4, but Jet Me Out of Here with about 2 or 3 lengths in hand over Highland Legend. Another length back to Piley Court on the inside, and Quentin's Man, the back marker, and ridden with restraint at the moment by Darren Andrews. Darren had a double at Chattersley Corbett yesterday up in the Midlands and is on the 13 winner mark for the season now. So they race past the judge then with 2 full seconds ahead of them to race. Down towards another plain fence then, Jet Me Out of Here. Darren Edwards looking for a double this afternoon after a winner in the 3rd race on Liberty Rock. As they cross the next end, they're over that safely and now race right-handed at the bottom end of the track. So Jet Me Out of Here was the even money and 5-4 favourite in places. Piley Court was next best at 2-1. Then with the 2 outsiders, but only just at 5-2 were Quentin's Man and Highland Legend, both 5-2 with the bookmakers. So they've completed the turn at the bottom end of the course then, and prepare now to race up the back straight in full for the first time. Plain fence, open ditch, and plain fence to take. And as they come to the plain fence now, Jet Me Out of Here jumped it beautifully out in front, a length and a half clear then of Piley Court and Ella Herbison. Ella on the 1 winner mark for the season, winner at Cotterstone on Piley Court, as they prepare then for the open ditch for the first time. And they will take the ditch without incident, and Quentin's Man's just improved into 3rd at the expense of Highland Legend, who's now the back marker of the quartet then, as they continue on then to the final plain fence in the back straight. Jet Me Out of Here right over, Piley Court over in second. Quentin's Man and Highland Legend now share 3rd spot as they have completed their run up the back straight in full for the first time and are on the turn at the top end once again. So Jet Me Out of Here, a length and a half clear then. Piley Court sat right in his slipstream as they turn back towards us then and take or prepare to take the fence at the top of the hill. And Jet Me Out of Here jumped it beautifully out in front, and they're all over safely. So Piley Court now just moves up within a half length of the lead on the inside. Highland Legend shows in 3rd. Quentin's Man's back to 4th again on the outside as they cross the next end, and all 4 safely over that. And racing on down then to what will be the final fence in a circuit's time. So Jet Me Out of Here, yet to be really headed in this race, and jumped that really well. Stood off of it beautifully, Jet Me Out of Here. And races a half length clear then of Piley Court. Another length and a half back then to Quentin's Man, and a half length then to Highland Legend. As they pass the judge, they've got a circuit left to race, fence at the bottom of the home straight, and they all 4 sail over it okay. Quentin's Man was just ridden for a couple of strides away from that fence by Darren Andrews on the outside of Highway Legend, who's just gone into 3rd now. As Quentin's Man just a little bit flat-footed at the bottom end of the course, as Jet Me Out of Here's just picked the tempo up a notch, and now they make their way up the back straight for the final time in full. So Jet Me Out of Here by About 2 lengths then to Piley Court, who travels quite sweetly at the moment, back in second. 3 lengths then back to Highland Legend and Quintin's Man. Just coming under a bit of pressure again from Darren Andrews to stay in touch with these other 3. So this is the ditch then for the final time. Jet Me Out of Here by a length, out jump there by Piley Court. Got a good jump up the inside there. Ella Harbison on Piley Court goes up to 1.5 length of the leader. They've gone around about 4 or 5 lengths clear then of Highland Legend, and the whip is up for Quintin's Man, who's just becoming a little detached now as they take the final plain fence in the home straight, and Quintin's Man just ran down the fence slightly and is really struggling at the moment to go with them as Jet Me Out of Here now, still with Piley Court in close attendance. Takes a turn at the top end of the course. They're about 5 or 6 lengths clear then of Highland Legend and Vinnie Webster back in third, and have gone a long way clear of Quintin's Man. So the leaders then are on the turn for home, and they race towards the third last then. 3 out coming up, and out over Jet Me Out of Here is about a half length clear then of Piley Court, who comes up on the inside to loom up large and now make a challenge for the lead. These 2 now matching strides as they come down to the second last then. 2 out, Jet Me Out of Here on the outside of Piley Court. They've gone clear and the Highland Legend's being pulled up. It's about Piley Court now has taken over and goes on by 3 lengths now. Final fence coming up then for Piley Court. Jumps it beautifully and is going to be pushed out to the line. Is increasing the lead now, gone a dozen lengths clear of Jet Me Out of Here, the long-time leader, and wins well in the end, Piley Court, from Jet Me Out of Here, and the only 2 to finish.
You can't lead out for 3/4 of the race, can you? You just can't do it. Yeah, certainly because I won on the last one.
Last one gave for number 9.
Terrific performance by Piley Court, given I thought an excellent ride by Ella Harbison. I believe that's only her 2nd winner, but she's done a terrific job. No wonder she's smiling, because the very experienced Down Edwards was in the lead on Jet Me Out of Here. Piley Court always looked to have matters in control, but getting past Darren Edwards is never easy. But she took it up, 2 out, just went to the front in between the final 2, and she flew the last. And Piley Court has won pretty well. Was the winner last time out. Won an Open maiden when beating Flaming Henry last time. And as I mentioned earlier, was a half brother to good horse of the Skeltons, Go Steady, who won 6 times, and out of Piley Lady, who won a couple of races for Jeremy Scott. So she's got the right, she's got the right breeding, and she's got plenty of good connections. And she was given, as we shall see now in the replay, an excellent ride by Ella Harbison.
The whip is up for Quintin's Man, who's just becoming a little detached now as they take the final plain fence in the home straight, and Quintin's Man just ran down the fence slightly and is really struggling at the moment to go with them as Jet Me Out of Here now, still with Piley Court in close attendance. Takes a turn at the top end of the course. They're about 5 or 6 lengths clear then of Highland Legend and Vinnie Webster back in third, and have gone a long way clear of Quintin's Man. So the leaders then are on the turn for home, and they race towards the third last then. 3 out coming up, and out over Jet Me Out of Here is about a half length clear then of Piley Court, who comes up on the inside to loom up large and now make a challenge for the lead. These 2 now matching strides as they come down to the second last then. 2 out, Jet Me Out of Here on the outside of Piley Court. They've gone clear and the Highland Legend's being pulled up. It's about Piley Court now has taken over and goes on by 3 lengths now. Final fence coming up then for Piley Court. Jumps it beautifully and is going to be pushed out to the line. Is increasing the lead now, gone a dozen lengths clear of Jet Me Out of Here, the long-time leader, and wins well in the end, Piley Court, from Jet Me Out of Here, and the only 2 to finish.
Only by
There we are. There are the first two home. It was an excellent. I thought it was a really good race, and I thought it was a very accomplished ride by a relatively inexperienced rider, Ella Herbison, on Piley Court. It's all very well going with plenty of horse under you, but you've got to go and do the job, and she took it up. I thought she timed her challenge absolutely perfectly, and then booted Piley Court into the last, and he answered her response. Mr. Pudd is here. Robert Pudd, Piley Court. Step forward. This way. No, this round this way here. There we are. It's very complicated. I thought that was a marvellous ride by Ella, wasn't it?
Yeah. She's good girl. Yeah, works for Philip Hobbs, and helps me out during the week when she's got time during her lunch hour. And
even more important, when you own, train and breed the winner as well.
Yes, a real thrill.
Didn't he travel well?
He was.
Is that
he
how
was
he
a bit of a
usually
hold-up
runs?
horse, and he didn't. We didn't want to get to the front too soon, but we were quite lucky because Darren set a good pace on the one we beat.
Well, that's why I thought it was such a good ride by Ella, because she was just waiting him, but she was definitely going best, wasn't she? It's just a matter of when she delivered him.
She was travelling well all throughout. Yeah. In fact, I was shaking so much I could hardly hold my binoculars still to see how well she was travelling.
It's great, but it obviously means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it doesn't get any better.
And I remember because he's out of Piley Lady, who won a couple. It was with Jeremy Scott, I think.
Yes, she was. And we bred Piley Lady as well.
Did you? Because there have been a few Pileys. There have been a few Pileys.
Yeah, they have. Well, that's where we live.
Yeah.
She also bred a horse that Dan Skelton has called Get Me Out of Here, that the Pophams own.
Yeah.
And that's won quite a few races, so the dam has done us proud, really.
And I think that, isn't he at heart, there's a horse called Go Steady?
That's what I said, yeah, Go Steady.
Oh, Go Steady, yeah. Who won 6 races for the Skeltons.
Yeah. So she's been good, and this one's hopefully following in his footsteps.
Well, I mean, he's only 7, so he's got a
that's
lot in front
actually
of
only
him.
his 5th run, unseated first, came 3rd in his 2nd run, pulled up in his 3rd run, and then he's won his last 2. So
he's obviously has the penny suddenly dropped, do you think?
No, he's had a few problems earlier on in his life, and we've taken time with him, and he's come right. Yeah.
You've got a presentation coming up now, so I'll leave you to that. Thank you very much, and well done. Robert Pudd going at the rate of knots to receive his prize for Piley Court, the C&R Construction Restricted Race. We've seen quite a nice trophies. There is a challenge trophy for this, and a bottle of fizz as well, so it's all most worthwhile. So we've got one more race to come. It's amazing how the afternoon has flown by, how quickly it flies when you're enjoying yourself, which I hope you have watching our live stream on Pointing DC. And we've got the declarations for you. Let's give you the 4 runners. Good turnout, really, because only 6 were entered, and 4 of them have stood their ground. Number 2 is Amore Alato, who is ridden by Holly Pennell, who we spoke to a bit earlier on. She rode, had her first ride. She was 3rd quite recently, so good luck to her. We also spoke to Chad Baymont, who rides number 3, Eric III, a wily old 13-year-old he is. The horse, that is, not Chad, although he's wily. Number 5 is Imogen's Thunder, an 11-year-old who's ridden by Charlie Sprake, who had a winner earlier, slightly luckily, but because 2 of them came down in behind in the most extraordinary event. And number 6 is Nikki Steele for Anna Highlands. I'm really looking forward to seeing her riding. She's a primary school teacher. She lost an enormous amount of weight, 9.5 stone, so she could ride. And I think it's just a fabulous story and a most amazing effort. She owns and rides Nikki Steele, and good luck to her. So there we are, 4 runners for our final race, which is the David Phillips, the Bookmaker Conditions Race for novice riders, and that will be underway at 4:55 in about 15 minutes' time, and we'll see the horses in the parade ring in due course.
So waiting for a fifth race, official results, first number 8, second number 5, only 2 finished, the race is only 15 lengths, time of the race is 6:34. Official result of race 5.
Welcome back. We've still got one more race to come. No, just step up. Sorry, I'm shouting to Ella Herbison, who's just won the previous race. If you just get near as possible to the microphone, we can hear your dulcet tones. That was a great ride. I really enjoyed watching that.
Thank you very much.
Because as as a relatively inexperienced rider, that's only your second winner.
Yeah.
I thought, you obviously you were going best, and it was just a matter of when you delivered Piley Court to go and win.
Yeah, when I won him at Coffelston, I probably got there a little bit too soon, and he had a good look in front, so I just didn't want to get there too soon. And
it must be quite tempting really when you're going so well to think, right, let's go.
Yeah. No, it's just the last against him, really.
And just getting past a wily old chap like Darren Edwards, he just gives it absolutely everything.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do that as well.
Yeah, he's a really nice horse. Like turning in, I knew I'd get past him. I just just didn't want to get there too soon.
And we were just talking to his owner, breeder, trainer, Robert Pudd, and he just seems to be getting better with every run.
Oh, definitely. Like today, he was foot perfect. Like at every jump, he just worked it out for himself and jumped everything lovely. And I think he's just got the hang of it, and it's really nice.
To be travelling so well, because in between the last two, you thought, right, well, let's go and win it now, and you flew the last.
Yeah, he knows his job.
He does, and when you're on the run, I mean, it was all over, wasn't it, on the run? He could easily win again.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So have you ridden him? How many times have you ridden him?
Twice. He gave me my first winner at Coffelston and my second winner today.
Oh, so he's responsible for both your winners?
Yeah.
Well, you need something. You need a horse like that to sort of set you on your way.
Yeah, definitely.
And how many rides have you had in all?
Probably about 35, probably. Yeah, I had 4 last season, and then I've had quite a good few this season.
Because you need, I mean, the more you have, obviously, the better you get, and the better for your confidence and everything like that.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I'm sure about riding a horse, if you say that was your, say, third ride and you were riding him, you'd have probably gone to the front.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And thought, well, we got the race won, but actually you obviously getting a lot of experience with the amount of riding you're getting.
Yeah, and it's really nice to be riding a lovely horse like him too. Definitely makes it a lot easier.
And so what do you do in I was going to say in the real world, but apart from when you're not riding winners?
I'm an amateur jockey for Philip Hobbs. So I'm in there 6 days a week. And
well, that must be a fantastic
it's
job.
A brilliant opportunity, and the governor's really good to me as well. So.
Well, he's one of the best, isn't he?
Yeah,
really?
He's a lovely man.
And it's got a very nice. I've been to Philip's yard, and it's got a very nice sort of family atmosphere about it, friendly atmosphere.
Oh, it's a lovely place to work. Like, if anyone was starting out in racing, I'd definitely recommend going there. The horses are lovely, and it's just a generally lovely atmosphere. And
so,
lovely
have you had rides under rules?
Yeah. I've had probably 5 rides under rules, a few for the governor and Carol Gray as well.
You want to... Carol Gray had a runner on the flat the other day.
Yeah, frame rate, he won.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, a good horse indeed.
Yeah.
But you want the governor to give you a winner now.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice, yeah. But he's been very good to me anyway, so...
So the plan is, I mean, sort of early stages of your career, obviously to ride with as many as you can.
Yeah. I'd like to stay riding pointing for a good few years, and if it goes well, maybe turn conditional one day. But
this must be a nice course to ride. It's a good galloping track.
It's a lovely track. Yeah, really nice fences, and it's generally a nice track to ride around.
Well, very well done. I thought it was a terrific. I'd almost give it, my inexperience, the ride of a day, because I thought it was, the way you delivered him was absolutely spot on. It was brilliant.
Thank you very much. That's
well
very
done.
Kind of you.
Thank you, and good luck in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. That's Ella Herbison, and she's leaving with her bottle of fizz. And we can see, as you can see behind me, 1 or 2 of the runners in the parade. In fact, they're all 4 in here now. So let's see what we can see. That's number 6 just going past us. So we might stick with. It can't be. It is number 6. Yeah, it was number 6, which is Nikki Steele, who's going to be ridden by Anna Highlands. I've been talking to her a bit earlier on, a primary school teacher, and she will be showing the video of this race to her pupils tomorrow, see how the teacher gets on. But her story is a remarkable one. And Simon has joined us for the final race of the day, so we're getting a few tales from the bookmaking ranks.
Yep. And this race is actually sponsored by a bookmaker, Dave Phillips.
Yeah.
Probably be the oldest one here stood today. He used to work for him for a while. Nice chap. And he's put his hand in his pocket to sponsor this race.
Good to give a bit of money back, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Imogen's Thunder. It's the 4-6 favourite. Richard Pittard's laid 200 quid's worth of it. So looks
at
like
6-4 on.
I think he's laid it a bit shorter than that, a bit better than that.
Yeah.
I'm not quite. He didn't tell me what price he laid it at, but he thought he was ducking it, and then realised everybody else is even shorter than him. So there's been money elsewhere for it. Eric III's the second in. It's a 2-1 chance, probably bigger now in the face of the support for the favourite. Nicky Steele 9-2, and a more Alto 7-1. But at Shop Around you get bigger all those prices. Competitive betting ring out there.
It is. I mean, I think in the end it's been, because it was quite a quiet start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, these sort of meetings, if you've got 12 bookmakers, you could do far worse than come racing and get some value punting, because there is some value out there if you know what you're looking for.
Absolutely. You fly down the line.
Yeah. They'll all lay you a fair bet. None of this restricted to £2.50 nonsense and all that stuff.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much,
You're
Simon.
welcome.
Thank you very much indeed for all Simon's efforts this afternoon. Now, who's next in shot there? That's number 5. That's the favourite. So let's have a look at the favourite. A close look at number 5, Imogen's Thunder. She's just coming towards me now, the one we're looking at on screen. And he looks in great. He's got a lovely sort of white glaze on his nose. He must say he looks really, really well, Imogen's Thunder. He's an 11-year-old. He's won his last 2 starts, so he's obviously on pretty good terms with himself. He won a intermediate members race here, and he beat Little Billy Boy at Cothelston in a conditional race there. So comes here in good form. He's won his last 2 starts. Owned by Wendy Jarrett, trained by Mary Torrey, and ridden by the leading novice Charlie Sprake, who, well, he was level with his main opponent up north, whose name I still haven't recalled. He did tell me earlier, but I can't remember who it was, so that's very unprofessional of me. But he did go 1 clear. Who knows, the Northern Challenger might have ridden the winner this afternoon. So all Charlie can do is ride as many winners as he can. There's number 2. We spoke to Holly Pennell. Good luck to her on Amore Alato, who's a 13-year-old. And she's had, I think, 1 ride when she finished 3rd. So she finished, and Amore Alato finished 3rd behind Eric III, who they reopposed today. And that number 2 is the best turned out. Amore Alato, well, they're all quite senior, 13 years old, like Eric III, and trying to turn around that form. Got 17 lengths to make up on Eric III. I must say, the joy of being here at today's Point to Point under a cloudless blue sky, spring in all its glory. It is absolutely fabulous, and there are the jockeys, all of whom we've had a word with today, on and off. The only one not on camera was Charlie Sprake, but we've spoken to Anna Hylands, Holly Pennell, and Chad Baymont as well. And the enthusiasm is amazing. That's number 3. That's Eric III, who's been, well, he was a 7 times winner under rules, and he's trained by John Hurd right here at Eggesford, his track in fact. Eric III has won 1 of his last 5 starts, but he's never out of the money. He won a conditions race by 5 lengths, and he ran only last Monday actually, when he finished 2nd, got beaten 6 lengths by the Big Sting, who we saw a bit earlier. We saw the Big Sting winning the opening race of the day for Will Biddick. Now the bookmaker David Phillips is going to be talking. In fact, we can hear from him right now talking to Simon.
Thank you. Dave Phillips.
Good afternoon.
Sponsor of the last race.
Yes, indeed. This must be about the 12th year I've sponsored a race here.
And what any particular reason why you sponsor it here?
Well, I think the herds that run it, John Hurd, clerk of the course, and assisted by Dave Willis, who's clerk of the course at the next meeting here. They just do such a good job for the horses. You know, the track is in perfect condition. I mean, we haven't had a significant rain for about 2 months, and they've got really good ground today. Maybe good to firm officially, but they do a fantastic job, and I think anybody involved with horses would never mind running here.
Excellent. Well, do the punters show you a bit of loyalty as you sponsor and come and bet with you?
Well, you know what punters are like. There's no loyalty whatsoever, but yeah, they may do later on.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dave.
That was our sponsor, David Phillips. Well done to him, and he's full of praise for the course. What a great job they do here, which indeed they do. I mean, the amount of water that's been put on to get the course in really, for considering the dry weather we've had, has been nothing short of miraculous. And I think year after year, a lot of people come here for knowing they're going to get pretty decent ground. This has been an exceptionally dry spring. It'll probably rain throughout the summer, but anyway, it's been a very dry spring, and they've done I agree, they've done a terrific job. Jockey's about to get mounted. Must be a moment of few nerves here for inexperienced riders like Holly Pennell, who rides Amore Olato, Chad Beaumont on Eric III, and Anna Highlands. I just am so full of admiration for her determination, and I'm sure her students will be itching to see her performance at school tomorrow. I hope it forms part of her lessons. I think there's a lot to be learned from going point-to-pointing, from just basic human nature to mathematics, trying to calculate your winnings. And they're getting a leg up with the chevron. That's Holly Pennell. And just about to get on board Nikki Steele is Anna Highlands. And Anna Highlands won last time at won by 3 lengths, won a novices race, beat Rocheston, Thomas Dogrell's horse, who was the 6-4 on favourite and was the outsider of 3 as well. So it was a mighty performance by Nikki Steele and Anna Highland. So great excitement for these novice riders, and I think it's such a great incentive to give relatively inexperienced riders, the chance. Pony racing can do so much. This is just sort of a next step onwards, and we can hear Mark Dennis calling them down to the post.
Chad Beaumont, yellow with the green spots on sleeves and a green cap. Next out was number 2, that's Amore Leto, ridden by Miss Holly Pennells, and that's pink with the royal blue chevron, half sleeves and cap. Next out will be number 5, Imogen's Thunder, ridden by Mr. Charlie Sprake, dark blue and light blue hoops with a light blue Diablo on sleeves and a black cap. And finally we're going to see Nikki Steele, number 6, ridden by Miss Anna Highlands, and that's emerald green with the purple disc, purple sleeves and an emerald green cap. So 4 go to post then for this final race of the afternoon. The David Phillips, the bookmakers conditions race. 4 novice riders, they're due away at 4:55, so we're around about 2 or 3 minutes after post time.
And in that 2 minutes we've got before the flag is raised and they're set on their way for this final race of the day here at Eggesford, we can get with Simon an update. Imogen's Thunder was a well-supported 6-4 on favourite when we last heard. What price now?
Yeah, bottle on now, Bob. 2-1 on.
2-1 on.
That's the one they want. Nothing.
Got the most experienced jockey on board,
yeah,
Charlie Sprake.
It's been back without the exception of anything else really.
I think probably if there was an odds-on favourite today, he would be the one really.
Yeah.
He's won his last 2.
It's the first one that the shrewd bookmakers have stuck their neck out. And poor old Mike Smith that stood the last one for 1,700 quid and got it beat. He's retired to the bar and told his son he's driving home to celebrate.
Oh, good for him. But he took a punt, didn't he?
He did take a punt and it paid off. So he's retired for the rest of the day now.
Well, yeah, for what remains of it. What a lovely day it is. And Eric III is the second favourite. Still.
Yeah. It's probably, I can't see what price it is there now.
Around about 9-4.
Yeah, probably get bigger. I mean, they'll be shopping around. Once again, it depends on who's laid what. Somebody will always stick their neck out to try and get one in the book.
Yeah.
There's normally enough juice in the margin to do that. So.
Well, thank you very much for your efforts this afternoon. It's been most enjoyable.
Most enjoyable for me too, Bob. Thank you very much.
Getting all the betting information and all the stories from the ring as well with your little. Your filming gets better and better. It must be quite fun doing that.
It is. Yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun recording all of them for generations to come. See what it was like.
Do you keep them all, do you?
Well, so hopefully they'll be out there. Once they're out there, aren't they? So I keep it. I don't delete anything.
Yeah.
I'll probably stick them up all on my website at some point, and just for people if they're interested to see.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll thoroughly enjoy it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Simon. So there was a chap walking through with his camera. He's going the wrong way, I think, as far as his lens is pointed. But I'm sure maybe he's seen something of more interest from the forerunners waiting. The starter, you can see, is hobbling towards his little mini rostrum. So I'll hand you over to Mark Dennis, because they'll be underway. Once he's limped to the start, he's going to be raising his flag. And here is Mark Dennis.
The flag is up then, so we're under orders. And the flag is quickly dropped, so we're underway then for this final race of the afternoon. The David Phillips Bookmakers Conditions race. 4 novice riders and Imogen's Thunder with the fractional advantage as they take the first in. Eric the third over in second. They're about 5 or 6 lengths clear, maybe more, over Amora Leto in third, and Nicky Steele, the back marker of the 4. So they've quickly split up into 2 separate races. The guys up front are taking this fairly seriously, and Eric the third now takes the lead and goes on by about 3 lengths under Chad Bayment. As they face up then, or the leaders do, to fence number 2, and he's over that safely. From Imogen's Thunder, Amora Leto over in third, and Nicky Steele 4. So Nicky Steele partnered by Anna Highlands. Anna had her first winner in 5 seasons 2 weeks ago at the Axevale meeting. So well done to her. So obviously still qualifying as a novice. And just preceding Nicky Steele is Amora Leto, partnered by Holly Pennell. Holly's first ride in public was yesterday at Minehead, and she had a lovely ride round on Steel Brush. And Nicky Steele took a real chance with that fence, and Anna Highlands had to sit tight there, not to go out over his ears, which she did. So leaders already on down to the next, the plain fence at the bottom of the home straight. Imogen's Thunder is at it now, joined by Amora Leto on the inside, as Nicky Steele takes it at the back and is around about 30 lengths adrift of Eric III, and Chad Bayment is riding this as though stamina is assured at the moment, as he's around about a dozen lengths clear of the favourite Imogen's Thunder, as they begin their run up the back straight in full for the first time. So Eric III 5-2, Imogen's Thunder 2-1 on, 9-2 is Amora Leto, and Nicky Steele the outsider at 5-1. So the leader's already over the first in the back straight. The other 2 cross it now. Nicky Steele just approaches it as the leader then is almost on to the ditch then. The open ditch is up next for Eric III. Popped that beautifully. Imogen's Thunder over in second under Charlie Sprake. Charlie, the most experienced of these 4 riders, with 9 winners to his name. As I said previously, he's based with Will Biddick up in Dorset. And so Eric III comes to the final one in the back straight and pops it beautifully. Imogen's Thunder and Amora Leto 2 and 3. And Nicky Steele continues but around about 50 lengths adrift of the leader at the moment, who's completed the run up the back then and is on the turn at the far end. Eric III, he's just steadied into a nice rhythm now, Eric III, after a fairly rapid half circuit away from the start. As the leader then rounds the turn and comes into the top of the home straight, jumps the fence at the top of the hill. Okay, Chad Bayment looks over his shoulder. He's going to see he's got a healthy advantage at the moment over Imogen's Thunder and Charlie Sprake. And Amora Leto's around about 5 lengths off of that one, as the leader then comes down to the next, and he's over that safely, as is Imogen's Thunder and Amora Leto, and Nicky Steele continues, but still a long way adrift of the lead. So takes what will be the final fence in the circuit's time, does Eric III. Imogen's Thunder now is going to have to conjure something to cut this deficit on Chad Bayment and Eric III as he races down then to the final plain fence in the home straight. Just under a circuit left to race then in this novice riders event. Imogen's Thunder in second comes to the plain fence now. Out over safely, as is Amora Leto. Nicky Steele continues, but Eric III has just picked it up again, just picks the pace up a notch now again, and it's around about 25 lengths clear then of Imogen's Thunder, who's now under a bit of pressure from Charlie Sprake to try and cut this lead of Eric III, as the leader then comes into the back straight for the first time. Plain fence, open ditch and plain fence to negotiate. Eric III with around about 30 lengths a lead over Imogen's Thunder. Jumped the first one in the back beautifully. Imogen's Thunder and Amoreletto come to it next, as the leader now has the open ditch in his sights. So Eric III just kicked on now by Chad Bayman. He's taking the ditch okay. Imogen's Thunder is responding for Charlie Sprake's urgings, as is Amoreletto. Nicky Steele just coming to the ditch now, but up front it's still Eric III, who's now under a fair bit of pressure from Chad Bayman. This is the third one, or the final one in the back straight, and he's out over that safely. Imogen's Thunder comes to it now with Amoreletto. They're over that safely, and Eric III has now completed his run up the back straight, and still ridden out in front by Chad Bayman. He's going to try and run the finish out of his rivals, and he's doing a good job of it at the moment, and he's back up to about 25-30 lengths and a lead as he comes to the third last then. 3 out coming up then for Eric III, out over safely, and is still ridden by Chad Bayman. He's not going to be given a breather on the home stretch now. Imogen's Thunder also ridden, as is Amoreletto, who is responding to pressure as well. So Eric III now comes down to the second last, and the only dangers look to be in front for Chad Bayman, although Imogen's Thunder and Amoreletto are drastically cutting the lead now. So Eric III, he was very brave out the gate, comes down to the final fence. Imogen's Thunder now up to within about 10 lengths of the leader as they race down to the final fence then. Imogen's Thunder is gaining, but I think the line is going to come in time for Eric III, ridden comfortably by Chad Bayman from Imogen's Thunder. Amoreletto finishes in third, and then Nicky Steele will finish in fourth.
What an enterprising ride that was by Chad Bayman on Eric III, who went off hell for leather, and he just kept the gallop going. The number cloth has come off. I thought for a moment it was going to be the weight cloth. He's got the number cloth in his left hand, but that was real enterprise by young Chad. A terrific ride, and try as he might, Charlie Sprake could not reel him in on Imogen's Thunder. So the bookmakers have going home with a bit more money than they thought they were going to have, with the very well backed favourite, round about 2-1 on, I think he was. 6-4 on in the end. And we can have a look at the closing stage. It was getting a little bit desperate for Eric III and Chad Bayman, but they had this handy looking lead. Look at that.
Ridden by Chad Bayman. Not going to be given a breather on the home stretch now. Imogen's Thunder also ridden, as is Amoreletto, who is responding to pressure as well. So Eric III now comes down to the second last, and the only dangers look to be in front for Chad Bayman, although Imogen's Thunder and Amoreletto are drastically cutting the lead now. So Eric III, he was very brave out the gate, comes down to the final fence. Imogen's Thunder now up to within about 10 lengths of the leader as they race down to the final fence then. Imogen's Thunder is gaining, but I think the line is going to come in time for Eric III, ridden comfortably by Chad Bayman from Imogen's Thunder. Amoreletto finishes in third, and then Nicky Steele will finish in fourth.
Now we might have to wait for confirmation that he did carry, well, he's got to weigh in the correct weight, because we certainly saw the just the number cloth flapping away, but I've heard the odd talk that there might have been and the bookmakers, I can hear from Simon, are holding up payments because they want confirmation. They don't want to pay out for a horse that's weighed in far too light. If the number cloth did, if the weight cloth did come off at some stage, so I think there is a steward's inquiry into this last race, and that will regard the weight. So we'll wait anxiously for that. First past the post, Eric the Third. Did he carry the correct weight? We'll have to find out from the stewards very shortly. And second home was Imogen's Thunder, who might just get the race if the inquiry goes against Eric the Third.
Good morning, Hill. Come to the paddock, please. Morning, Hill.
You wrapped it up.
And we haven't quite said farewell here for this wonderful afternoon, because there is a stewards' inquiry in the final race, and the feeling is, because a lot of people have been seen upside down in rubbish bins trying to get tickets out, that Eric III will be disqualified because the weight cloth came off, and maybe Charlie Sprake saw that weight cloth come off and thought, well, I'm going to get the race anyway. So we're waiting for the official result to come through, but at the moment there's a stewards' inquiry, but the feeling is that Eric III will not be able to weigh in Chad Bayment with the correct weight, so he's going to get disqualified, but I'll give you official confirmation as soon as it comes through.
Horses away, please. Could we have a representative of David Phillips and Langford Plant Hire and Haulage, please, to the paddock?
I don't think it'll be too long. If it's in the book in there, it'll be too long.
So first horse past the post number 3 has been disqualified for losing its weight cloth and failed to draw weight. So that now makes the positions first number 5, second number 2, third number 6. The race was won by 3.5 lengths, and the time of the race was 6:27. Distance between second and third, 2.5 lengths. Official result of our final race with horse number 3 being disqualified.
And the mystery of the final race has finally been resolved, and Eric III has indeed been disqualified for losing his weight cloth. Most unfortunate. So therefore, number 5, Imogen's Thunder, is the winner. The favourite wins it with Charlie Sprake on board. 2 winners for Charlie today. Will do his novice title challenge, the World of Good. Second home then was number 2, Amore Alato. Third was number 6, Nikki Steele, with Eric III unfortunately being disqualified, losing the weight cloth. Most unfortunate. So just a quick run through of today's races here at Eggesford. I hope you've enjoyed the action. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There we go. Race 1 was won by the Big Sting, the 7-4 on favourite for Will Biddick. Race 2, Charlie Sprake's first winner on Jabir, who finished alone. 2 horses came down there, 2 of the main protagonists. Race 3, Liberty Rock. This is the maiden, big field there. Number 19, Liberty Rock, who was one of the well-backed horses. 5-2 joint favourite in the end. Mount Oscar was very well supported as well. 5-2 joint favourites, first and second, with Firefly Lane. And Josh Newman back in third at 25-1. Then the mixed open was a walkover for 16 letters, another winner for Will Biddick. Race 5 went to Piley Court. I think a terrific ride by Ella Herbison on the 5-2 second favourite, beating Jet Me Out of Here and Darren Edwards. And the last race, a controversial one, but it was a straightforward decision for the stewards because Eric III lost his number cloth. Unfortunately, he was disqualified, having passed the post in the lead, and it went to number 5, Imogen's Thunder, for Charlie Sprake, a double for Charlie today, beating number 2, Amore Alato, and 6, Nikki Steele. And that concludes our 6 races. And when the inquiry was announced, many very shrewd people went to the rubbish bins to try and fish out discarded tickets on the awarded winner, Imogen's Thunder, and 1 or 2 were successful. At one stage there were about 6 or 7 people upside down in that bin, so it's been completely stripped. It might have found my old remains of my burger actually in there as well, but I think that's probably still in there. So there we are, people still looking for a ticket in that final race. And that is about it on the most glorious afternoon. I've so enjoyed the action. I hope you have too. I've done my stint on the Pointing DC circuit for this year. I hope we'll be back next year. Cornelius will be back in future weeks. Still got another couple of live meetings to show you, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Keep on watching, keep on supporting Pointing DC. Thank you very much for watching, and have a very good week ahead. I'll lift my hat, which I bought for £8.95. It's been a bargain on the most glorious day. Good afternoon.